God dang it. Where's my freaking buttons at?
Just press the damn button, nerd.
There it is.
Oh,
There it
nice.
is.
Gosh, Jeff, you've been yelling at me a lot today.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Good morning, Paul. Hey, Raider Cam, Jordan Ford. Super Deuce. Yo. Hooligan Nation, Atticus be rockin'. Raider Paul. Raider Lorian. Sergio. Ron. Oh my gosh, we got everyone piled in here. Michelle. Hey. John Ogle, what's up, brother?
What's up, chat room? What's up, Raider Paul? Appreciate the compliment.
Yeah, he's all right, Raider Paul.
Here we go. It's episode number 329 of Raiders Fan Radio.
Hey, it's Mike Garofalo, NFL Network here in the home office, and you are listening to the Raiders Fan Radio podcast, taking that lighter journey into the dark side with Murf, Swag Jeff, and Michelle. She's got great hair. It's a little pink, it's a little purple, whatever it is. I'll tell you what, if I could grow it, I would sign up for that color today. So listen to her and the entire crew as they give you all the information on the Raiders on the podcast that benefits the One Nation Foundation. It's a great cause. It's a great pod. Tune in, turn it up. Here it comes. All that Raiders info and takes coming at you right now.
Jackpot, baby. Raiders Fan Radio.
Oakland, L.A., Oakland, Vegas, Raider Nation, wherever, forever. You got your old Uncle Mosh and Raiders Fan Radio from Murf's Man Cave, taking a lighter journey into the dark side. Sit back, put your feet up, pop a top, and enjoy the ride. Here we go!
Look left, look right, Bolitnikov, a leaping pass, touchdown!
Miss you, we love you, and we'll see you in the Hall of Fame.
When you have great coaches, then after you have great coaches, you get great players. You have a great organization, and you tell them one thing: just win, baby.
Way up the middle, intercepted Filipiano at the 50, time running down. Oakland football, and I think Oakland victory.
Oakland Raiders have scored on the most zany, unbelievable, absolutely impossible dream of a play.
Well, I love this team. I think this team can win. I think this team can win.
You are listening live to Raiders Fan Radio. Take it away, guys.
Why, thank you, Brett Musburger. What is up, Raider Nation? Your buddy Murf back once again for what we trust will be a fantastic episode of Raiders Fan Radio, coming to you live the night before the draft. 'Twas the night before the draft, and so everything that we talk about the draft tonight will be completely obsolete in 12 hours. So
there you go.
So although we are going to hit on the draft a little bit tonight, Raider Nation, we're probably going to do a little bit more, as we call in the biz, or the kids say, evergreen content Oh, yeah. So we will.
Kids
But
say that? The kids say
I'm
evergreen content?
pretty sure. I mean, I know some kids.
Okay.
And I know I've heard him say evergreen.
So Vinny said that once.
Yeah, I think I heard Vinny say that once.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
After I asked him to say it.
Repeat after me.
Say some shit so I can tell people that the kids say it.
The kids say this, but anyways, so and listen, the draft has just been talked about at exhaustion at this point. So, but we are excited about it. And we're gonna definitely talk about it. We've got a draft segment here at the top of the show. But before we get to that, we got some other things to get to. We've got respect to get to tonight, and I can't wait to do that. And first and foremost, I want to thank everybody for joining us live in the chat room tonight. Appreciate the chat room in there. I'll leave it to Swag Jeff to shout you guys out. But thank you for joining us live at youtube.com/Raiders Fan Radio. Appreciate everybody that is joining us on the audio podcast at Raiders Fan Radio. And you can find Raiders Fan Radio on any of your favorite podcast services. You can find us on the Google. You can find us on Spotify, Pandora, iHeartRadio. Anywhere you can find an audio podcast, you can find Raiders Fan Radio. And I want to shout out a guy, much respect to Robird in Texas, who gave us a 5-star review here just last week.
Hey.
I appreciate him. This is on the Apple podcast. And he says, I just found this podcast and I'm sorry it took so long. It's a must follow for every Raiders fan.
Hey, respect, my friend.
Thank you, brother. We appreciate that
Love that guy.
very much. And yeah, if you've on whatever podcast service you're on, if you wouldn't mind, just hit a review. Tell us what you like. Tell us what you don't like. Hit that stuff there. And we love to have that type of engagement, not only here live on the YouTubes, but on the audio podcast as well, because that raises awareness for our nonprofit, which is the One Nation Foundation. And any money that we get with this show through advertising, through direct donations, and speaking of direct donations, give it up for the boy, Will Compton.
Oh, yeah.
Come on.
Big respect.
Come on.
Came through. And so we are very grateful for another corporate sponsorship and donation from Will and Bussin' with the Boys. And that's going to go not only help our Bolitnikoff Foundation donation this year, but also Raider Dad, who we're going to be giving to very soon here before the month is over, where they are taking underprivileged kids and their parental figures to Raider games, which is an amazing, amazing cause. And so thank you to all of those of you that support this show and help raise the awareness, not only for our show, but more importantly, our foundation. We thank you guys so very, very much, because not only without the amazing and the bulk of our fundraising comes from you guys directly, but without that, we don't get these corporate deals. We don't get the attention of these different companies. So it's all about you guys. And even if you can't contribute monetarily, just help us amplify the message of the One Nation Foundation and Raiders Fan Radio. That's all we ask. And we love you guys. And thank you so very much for it. All right. I'm going to shut up now and I'm going to turn. Oh my gosh. And speaking of that, I'll leave it to Jeff to shout this one out. But speaking of the donations already starting to come in tonight. Thank you so very, very much. But listen, I don't do this show alone. I do this with two of my best friends. So I'm going to turn it over first and foremost to the man that adorns the Eastern Annex of the Murf's Fan Cave desk. He is my best friend and yours. He is Swag Jeff.
It's style and then profiling.
What up, Swaggo?
What up? What's up, brother? Special teams, special plays, special players. That's what tomorrow night is going to bring, Raider Nation, and I'm freaking fired up for it. You know, some people give, some people take. All I do is take, and that's what I hope the Raiders do, is take all the best players in this draft. I'm fired up. I can't wait. My gosh. So there's so much I got to get to tonight. And that totally went over Dad's head.
It did.
Way over Dad's head.
He didn't get an absolute second of that.
No.
So yeah, respect sketch. If you know, you know.
Okay, all right.
I'll show you. I'll show you videos later.
Yeah,
I'll show you videos
okay,
later.
thanks.
So speaking of
all you crazy kids in your TikTok.
I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you.
All right.
So a bunch of amazing folks in the building tonight. Rufacho's in there. Paul's in there. Jack Kenna. Fabricator Gill. Let's see. Rodolph Sanitarium is in there. Girl's Dad is in there. Jordan Ford. Jay Jackson. # Navajo on the go. Space Beast is in there. Raider Lorian. And we had a couple of bangers right here at the top, man. So Hooligan Nation, much respect to you, my friend. Says salute to the RFR crew. Best podcast in the nation with a $25 donation.
Thank you,
to
brother.
the One Nation Foundation. Absolutely.
And Hooligan also did a company match through his company. And we also got a donation from his, speaking of large corporations, we got a really nice check from those folks.
Yep.
And so I don't know if we can call them out or not. Hooligan, you let us know if we can. But we just thank you very, very much for that because 100% of that money goes straight to the foundation.
100%.
So thank you.
Yeah. And then Hooligan Nation was followed up by Fabricator Gill, our good friend Fabricator Gill, $50 donation to the Raider Nation Foundation. Yep. Much respect. There's already 60 people in the building here tonight, right here at the top of the show. So can't thank you guys enough. So Murf, we don't do the show alone.
No, and thank you, Gil. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Matt's so cool.
Can't thank you.
Gil hooks up our tailgates for us.
He does.
Hooks us up with tickets to the games and stuff. I mean, Gil cannot speak enough. And he's been around a long time, too.
Yeah.
Gil's an OG Raiders fan radio guy. So thank you, Gil. We love you, brother.
Absolutely. So Murf, we don't do the show alone.
Heck no, we don't.
No, so, and thank goodness for that. So to my left over here.
Class it up a little bit.
We got to, man. A couple of knuckleheads over here.
All right.
We got someone over here that might make a swear or two sometime tonight. But yes, so to my left over here, adorning the southern annex of the eastern annex of the Murf Fan Cave desk, please welcome in the lovely Michelle Swag.
Hi, Michelle.
Hi. Classy. That's not something I get called often, but so when I do, I like to just slowly stew in it for a minute. So thank you for that. Yeah, listen, I'm excited to be here. I actually only came because I thought it was Thursday. I thought it was draft night.
Oh, you thought it was draft night.
Wow. Yeah.
So I guess I'll just spend the night till tomorrow night. So
there
I'll
you
just
go.
sit right here.
There you
Man,
go.
I'm ready.
Well, the name of the show is
"Twas
the night before draft night. So what do we leave out for the draft gods tonight or whatever, drafty clause or whatever?
Oh, yeah.
You know, because we got you leave out cookies and milk for Santa Claus. So what do we leave out for
An
Tommy
index
Telesco?
card?
You know,
an index card with Jaden Daniels' name written on it?
Yeah. Okay. Well, I was
I
thinking.
don't know if I want an index card.
I think we should just leave
everyone
leave out.
That's true. That's true. Yeah.
So tonight,
I shouldn't have invoked the index card.
Oh, yeah. You're gonna piss some people off. But I think the
Modelo. Leave
out a Modelo.
There you go. A Modelo. And for Antonio Pierce, the night before draft night, leave him a cigar out.
Oh, yeah.
Leave him a cigar.
Yeah.
Nicely done, Jeff.
Yep. Absolutely.
All right, brother, hit us some contact info and let's get into this show.
How about I give the episode number
After
first
you did
before...
that, you got to let me finish.
Well, there was a lot of awkward silence before and after you just said
You're
that.
awkward. Read your damn episode number.
Okay. Hey, so it's episode 329 here at Raiders Fan Radio.
And what do we do with our episode numbers?
Well, I'll tell you, Murf, if you give me just a second. So episode 329 of Raiders Fan Radio. So each and every week, we take a significant moment within Raider Nation and relate it back to the episode number. When I say we, I mean me and the mouse in my pocket because it's none of the other guys. It's me doing all the work. But whatever. But, and our good friend T-Hum. So I guess he is the other guy.
He's the mouse in your pocket?
He's the mouse in my pocket. Yeah, I got a guy. Hey, don't tell us about your life. Oh my gosh. So this episode is 329 and we got a good one. We got a Raider record.
Oh,
we love a good Raider record around here. So we're going to be highlighting Jacoby Ford.
Oh, fun.
Yeah,
Nice,
Jacoby Ford. So this happened on November 28th, 2010. We lost, I think, the game 33-17.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, which sucks, but that wasn't the all-time stat because the all-time stat is all-purpose yards in a game with 329. Come on.
Shout out number 12.
There you go. Yep. That dude's quick.
All right, now can we do contact info?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Jeff. Oh, I guess I got to turn you up.
Granted.
Woo! Hey, Raider Nation! You got your old Uncle Mosh here with an updated contact info. So sit up, zip up, shut up, and pay attention. You can call us at 909-345-3346. Or as Murf would say it, 909-345-3346. How about emailing me? You want to email me? Email me at show@RaidersFanRadio.com. Or what about reaching out to us on some of that social media stuff Swaggy likes? Try Facebook at Raiders Fan Radio Podcast. The Twit at Twitter at Raiders Fan Radio. Insta something. Instagram at Raiders Fan Radio. The ticky-ticky-tacky-tock. TikTok at Raiders Fan Radio. Or what about the Twitch? Some of you out there twitching. Anyway, Twitch at Raiders Fan Radio. Or if you don't like that, go to the YouTube. America, go to the YouTube. YouTube.com/Raiders Fan Radio. Oh my God, if that wasn't enough, go to your podcast provider and search Raiders Fan Radio. Holy crap, that was a lot.
Good. Oh,
Hey,
man.
come on.
Come on.
That hit just like the first round will tomorrow.
Oh. What? Here at the top of the
This is going to be a fun show.
It's going to be a fun show.
Is.
So here, this is what happens when we go to every 2 weeks. Because we just got to let all this out.
Well,
You know what I mean? Yeah. So here at the top of the show, we don't do props. We don't do shout-outs. There's nothing wrong with those things.
Hell no.
We're Italian, so we like to give a little bit of respect.
Murf, Swaggy J, Nation, it's time for a little respect. You know, respect ain't bought, it ain't sold, it ain't demanded, it ain't negotiated, it's earned. And without blowing smoke or giving shameless plugs, we want to say salute and much respect to the following folks.
Hey man, did Gardner Minshew get his bus?
Oh, nice. Living in a short bus for $100.
Hey man, you put a couch in it, man?
Oh my gosh.
He may be little out here, but not all the time.
Not all the time. Not
Oh
all
my
the
gosh.
time. You tell
That's a
him.
freaking
That's
Minshew's
deep.
an all-timer,
He's
man.
an all-timer. I
He's
love
an
that
all-timer.
dude.
And we're going to get into a lot of that. If you missed Gardner Minshew on the Rush podcast with Max Crosby, you're missing out. But we got a few highlights from that we're going to get into here in just a little bit. But before we do that, we want to give a little bit of respect to some folks. And I'm going to start off mine with Micah from Germany.
Hey.
Micah from Germany is a very loyal listener to Raiders Fan Radio and always goes in and drops us like a super chat at the end of the show, like in the comment section on the YouTubes.
Okay.
But then also here recently, he just sent us a donation to the One Nation Foundation, is where all our money
Nice.
goes, and he sent it directly to our PayPal. And so thank you to Micah for doing that. And so for those of you that don't know, Google takes a little bit of a cut of the money whenever we do super chats and things here. If you ever want to directly donate, and we will get 100% of it, you go to the PayPal, and it's donation@onenationfoundation.net, and you can find that on our website at onenationfoundation.net. You click the donate button there, it'll take you to the PayPal. And so thank you very much to Micah for doing that. We appreciate him very, very much. All right, I've got two more to get to. I've got one. This is a quick one. So football players go on vacation, right? When they're out of town, right?
Okay.
They go out. They go on vacation, including Kermit the Frog, aka Patrick Mahomes, and his wife Brittany.
Okay.
And they were on vacation in Cabo San Lucas.
Okay.
And don't you know, there was some Raider fans at the resort that they were at.
Of course there were.
And so check this out. This is Raider fans in the middle of this like nice resort while Brittany and Patrick Mahomes are walking out of this restaurant. Listen to Raider fans.
Let's go the Raiders.
Sound like me.
God, beautiful.
Isn't that amazing?
That's
So
wonderful.
good.
So good.
So good. You know, Brittany was about to freaking lose her mind.
Oh, she wasn't loving that. She was having flashbacks to Christmas.
Oh, she needed a Taylor Swift hug or something.
But anyways, much respect to the Raider fans in Cabo. And all right, I've got one more for you.
Okay.
So there's been a lot of talk from media,
Okay.
about the idea of Devontae Adams getting traded, right?
Okay.
We've heard it to the Jets,
Right.
so he can
He
reunite
wants
with
out.
Aaron and all that kind of stuff. So I got a lot of respect for Davante Adams because he was asked, I think it's Vinny Bond Sr., Michelle's favorite reporter.
Yeah.
She loves that guy.
Love that guy.
You
He's
love
great.
Vinny Bond Sr.
He's wonderful.
And so he was asked at it was like a youth event, like a football camp kind of whatever. And Vinny asked him about his wanting to be a Raider, and listen here to what Davante had to say.
You're talking about taking out of context and misconstruing. A lot of people just assumed for you that you were going to want out at some point. Like, was that? Well, I guess what was in your mind? Was there ever any fluctuation in your dedication to this franchise?
I mean, I wouldn't say I ever wanted to be gone. If I wanted to be gone, I'd be gone by now. So I picked to come here. This is where I want to be. And obviously, if you're not winning and things are not going the way you want, you either want to see things change to get headed in the right direction, or something else has got to change. So, I don't want to go anywhere. I want to be a Raider. So hopefully that answers everyone's question.
All right, there it is. So I love it that he didn't shy away from it. He jumped right into it and said, I want to be a Raider, and that's the end of it. Listen, I hate to end my little segment on respect with a little bit of a down note, but listen, guys, I got bad news for us. I got bad news for Davante. He's gonna have to take a pay cut.
Oh yeah.
He's gonna if the Raiders want Davante Adams next year, he's gonna have to take a pay cut. If Davante really wants to be a Raider, and first off, I don't want this to be a downer note here because I respect he said it like, this is where I want to be, like the end, right? So he didn't leave any doubts there. That said, his 2024 number, right, against the cap is $25 million. In 2025, it jumps to $44 million, and he's going to be 33 years old.
Oh,
okay.
He's going to have to take some sort of a cut, restructure, something, because the guaranteed salary next year is $0, which means the Raiders can move on from him with no penalty.
wow.
So all the people talking about, well, reunite him with Aaron Rodgers, well, there you go. We can do it. And it makes sense because it's not going to be harmful to the Raiders other than his lack of productivity on the field. But as a 33-year-old man,
sure.
Like, listen, these guys are as amazing as Davante is. He's still human, man. And Father Time is undefeated. So
sure,
you know what I mean? So it's just, I'm already mentally starting to prepare myself for that. This might be it. We might get 1 year. And then if it goes great, then maybe he's like, okay, I've made all the money I need to make. I'll go ahead and restructure. I'll be a mentor. I'll go the Larry Fitzgerald route, which is what I would hope for him and hope for the Raiders. But there's also a possibility where if the Raiders don't perform at the level that we all expect them to in this upcoming season, then maybe he's like, yeah, no, go ahead and turn me loose. So I don't know. I'm just already starting to get into that mindset a little bit, if that makes sense, Jeff.
Yeah. I mean, I think a lot of that, I think he would be totally willing to take a pay cut if we win.
You're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
We need to make a run this year.
We got to make a run.
We got to make a little run, even if it's just, maybe let's win one playoff game. You do that, and Davante's going to take a pay cut. He's going to want to stay for sure, which, I mean, he's already kind of silenced that anyway, that he wants
Especially
to stay.
if we have a baller quarterback.
100%.
You know what I'm saying?
Because, I mean, look how much he wanted to play with C.J. Stroud last year.
Yeah.
So he's pretty vocal, and he's kind of made his point on who he would love to have him throwing the football this year and stuff like that. So, okay, let's get it done, and let's keep him in silver and black for a while.
Absolutely.
100%. So I've got a couple of respects to give. Just a pair of goats. Just a pair of goats, man. One goat is kind of, in-house. It's from our podcast Raider World. I want to give respect to our good friend, the OLV Raiders Podcast Network, Graphic Raider himself.
Come on.
Much respect to Graph. So if you missed it, Murf and I were fortunate enough to be on his show live last week, where we kind of broke down some draft stuff, talked about all sorts of stuff, chopped it up a little bit, kind of made our predictions of what we might do in the early rounds, maybe moving on into the later rounds and stuff like that. So if you missed it, head to Graph's channel where you can watch that or whatever. As soon as this show's over, you can go watch that or whatever and see how wrong all of us were tomorrow night when the NFL draft airs live. So a goat from there, and then we'll go to one of the goats, and we're talking about the GOAT 24, and I'm not talking about Charles Woodson. I'm talking about our good friend, old man Willie Brown. I want to give respect to Willie Brown, as we do every year around this time. Willie was, famous for announcing the second-round pick of the Raiders every single year, and not only doing that and doing it incredibly for years and years. He represented the Raiders in a way that I don't know if anyone else has represented the Raiders. That guy lived, breathed the Raiders. When you thought Raiders, you thought Willie Brown.
On the shortest of lists and likely number one, man.
It's hard to argue of anyone else other than Willie Brown. But the special thing that he did, if you're a new fan, you know what he did. The second round pick, before he announced it, he wanted to make sure that Raider Nation and all of the NFL world and the entire world didn't forget about our moms on Mother's Day.
All right, settle down. Let me do a couple of things first. Thank you for being here, ladies and gentlemen. I really appreciated you kids bringing them out. But as always, hold on, I told you to settle down.
Love this guy.
As always, for every year, I like to wish all the mothers out there happy Mother's Day, which is next Sunday. Don't forget, guys.
Come on, Willie.
Especially Mrs. Al Davis, especially. So happy Mother's Day to you. So don't forget, guys, go shopping, all right?
Nice.
Love it. Much respect, Willie. You know what I loved about that, Michelle, is that not only did he, so that's the very first time he did it. It goes back to 2016. He did it every consecutive year until, unfortunately, he passed away. And it's sad because, you hear him talk about his mom who's going to be 103. Yeah. And then the next year, and he's like, lost, my mom's not here anymore, but happy Mother's Day, Mom. And he talks about, Mrs. Davis in there. And he talks about and then the thing that I thought was so special about that and just the Raiders this is what some of the things, the spirit of the things that they do that is so well done and it's so different than any other team in the league is that, so when Willie passes away, I'm so thankful. I got to be there with my two boys. We're standing in the crowd in Nashville and got to watch Charles Woodson pick up the mantle. And then it was Alec Ingold. And then it was it Henry Lawrence, I believe, did it when. Yeah. But they've continued that progression. And so I can't wait to draft day 2. I hate that we're going to not be able to see it, but we're going to be watching it. It's going to be on. But we've got a work event that we're going to be going to. But we're going to have the draft on for sure. And I say work event, we get to go to the hockey game, which is it's not like it's not a rough outing on Friday night by any means, but we'll be watching the draft for sure. But I can't wait to see who that is, who comes out there, and because they will carry on that tradition. Michelle, it's such a special thing, and it's and this is the other thing too. And I promise I'll shut up. The organic nature of these things. Everything that's cool about the Raiders, and this is going to go into our very first segment tonight too, once we finish respect. Everything about the Raiders happens organically. Nothing about our Raiders that's cool is manufactured. When you start trying to manufacture shit about the Raiders, it gets dopey real fast. Yeah. Willie Brown, as Jeff said, represented Raider Nation better than anybody. And then he organically started celebrating the moms on Mother's Day, and the Raiders picked that up and have now gone with it and ran with it. And it's just a Raider
thing.
Do.
Yeah. I love that. And, obviously Charles Woodson picking that up. I was there with Devin, my son, in Nashville too, and just getting to see him do that, and then everyone subsequently doing that. They just understand legacy. The Raiders players, they understand what that means to carry on those things. So, and speaking of Raiders players, my respect tonight is the current Raiders reporting for duty at camp. So
you said duty.
Oh, nice.
Okay. What I did, and laugh it out, guys.
Duty.
I said it.
Sorry, I stole that from Beavis.
Okay.
No, Butthead. That was a Butthead.
It was a Butthead.
It was a Butthead, yeah.
So rightfully, he stole it. Exactly.
Did you guys see the SNL with Beavis and Butthead?
Oh my gosh, that was so
funny.
good. That was so funny. They're hit and miss here, so getting to see Saturday Night Live do something funny.
Yeah, right?
Yes.
Anyway, so watching each player come in and seeing the excitement, and I loved seeing every one of them, but seeing Jack Jones come flying in like a friggin' freight train lightning bolt, just seeing him bust in, just jumping and excited, that's the energy that he's bringing to the team, and it's going to just circulate through everybody. So
BMF title belt. Put it on. back at it. Let's get to work, baby. Let's go. Let's roll.
What's up? Good morning. Glad to be back here at Raider Nation. Year 7, excited to be back. You know, Raider Nation, let's get it.
Let's go.
I love it. Love it.
Oh, baby. Raider Nation, turn up!
That's a whole
so
ass vibe right
freaking
there.
awesome. Like,
so
how does that
good.
not, if you're a Raider fan, how do you not have a smile on your face and let that bring you joy? Like, that is so freaking good, man.
So good.
So good. Great call out, Michelle. Great stuff there.
Absolutely.
All right, Swaggo, shout out the chat room. I know we got some super chats in there.
Yeah,
and
man,
then,
for sure.
take
Yeah,
us
so
to break
keeping
and
on
we'll
the
get
on the respect train right here. So Ty Davis says, hold on a minute. Tom Brady's damn near 50 years old and was running looking like a damn Baywatch model with a $5 donation to the One Nation Foundation. Much respect.
Thank you, Ty Davis.
Yeah, that was in regards to the Devontae being old. That came through. That's what that was.
I got you. Yeah.
And then East Coast Raider in there. This is, I bet Max Crosby will be announced in the second pick because he's from Michigan.
That's good.
I like that call out.
That's
good. I like that right there. And with a $5 donation to the One Nation Foundation as well. Rufacho's in there. Says, we're the baddest MF team on the planet. Raiders. With a $2 donation to the One Nation Foundation as well.
Thank you,
Absolutely.
guys.
But we've got Paul in there. Freight Train, T-Hum's in there, SoCal Sal, Ray Love, Raider Nick, Wyo Raider, Jordan Ford, Fabricator Gill, Ty Davis, Freddie Chavez, James Furpo, Space Beast, Corey Fleck is in there. Let's see, Raider Dank Vader, Tropical Remy's in there. Let's see who else is in there. PSP Raider Red. Hey, PSP. Hey, good to see you in there. Let's see here. Raider 75 is in there. Raider Cam. We got we got the whole crew, man. Everyone's fired up.
Love it.
Everyone's fired up. So the numbers is in there. Just popped in there. What's going on, man? But yeah, hey, so Murf, I'm gonna hit a button right here.
Man.
And then I think some new shit's come to light.
Let's talk about the Raiders.
Nobody enjoyed a good Donnybrook more than sixth-year linebacker Phil Villapiano.
This is Phil Villapiano, and you're listening to Raiders Fan Radio.
Oh, shout out Foxy Scorpio there, Swag.
Hey, Foxy Scorpio. Oh, with a $20 donation to the One Nation Foundation. Much respect, Foxy.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Hey, so before you hit your next button, we're talking about all these, if you joined in late, all these people sending super chats in, stuff like that. It's all going to the One Nation Foundation. So we give to different Raider-related charities, and we've also got a little something cooking up like we do the past. I think this is what, the third or fourth season of it.
Yeah.
The Summer of Swag is right around the corner. And Michelle, if you're on the video over here on the YouTube or Twitter or wherever you're at, Michelle's holding up a One Nation Foundation jersey with the number 23 on it because we got it signed at the 2023 Belindikoff event in Las Vegas, and it's signed by some absolute legends. So we've got a few of these things that we're going to be raffling off during the Summer of Swag. So I'm going to try to point right here and see. So we've got there's Phil Villapiano right there. There's and Antonio Pierce right there. There's obviously Fred's in there. We got Mike Haynes. We've got Shooter McGavin in there again.
We've got Jim Plunkett there on the bottom.
Jim Plunkett right there. Lift it up just a little bit, Michelle. Let's see. Yeah, there's Jim Plunkett right there. Dennis Haysbert. I think
Dennis Haysbert is on
signed
that.
It right there.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Give it up for Serrano if you need him. Yeah,
absolutely, man. So we've got some absolute legends on that thing. So stay tuned, man. The Summer of Swag is right around the corner, and so you can participate in that way with a chance to win some swag. You can also go to our TeePublic page. That is teepublic.com, and go check out our website right there. I think there's links in the bio or whatever of this video, and it's all over our Twitter and stuff as well. We've released all sorts of new designs. So Murph's rocking our OG right there. I'm rocking the Nation Invasion
Tour.
one. Michelle's rocking the original Not Bussin' with the Boys Get Made shirt. And we've just released a Vegas sign shirt that's kind of just emulates the Welcome to Las Vegas sign. And then Murf had an amazing idea.
The Podfather.
The Podfather, man. So a Godfather style shirt that him and Jimmy Zebach came up with. Absolutely incredible. I'm working on a couple myself. I'm kind of trying to dip my toe in the shirt design game.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. So we've got a bunch of good stuff right there. So you can support the One Nation Foundation in a multitude of ways. Okay, I'm done talking now. Murf, new shit's come to light, right?
Absolutely. It has.
Man, I've got certain information, all right? Certain things have come to light, and, given the nature of all this new shit, this could be a lot more complex. I mean, it might not be just such a simple,
What in God's holy name are you blathering about?
Well, I'll tell you what I'm blathering about. I've got information, man. New shit has come to light.
All right, new shit has come to light, and so I would love this show is best when it's conversational.
Yeah.
Not only though with just the three of us here in the fan cave, but we want to be conversation with the chat room, of course, and of course social media and otherwise. So get your opinions flowing in here, chat room, because I'm really I've got a genuine deep curiosity for where everyone kind of lands on this in terms of a majority. So the Broncos released their dopey bullshit, gross,
awful, so hideous.
Sorry, flipping.
It's true though.
Yeah, they're terrible. Okay, they're new uniforms. Oh yeah, by the way, why do they have a lightning bolt on their sleeve?
Idiots.
It's
they
so
have a lightning
dumb.
bolt on their sleeve.
It's supposed to be a mountain, but it looks like the freaking a bolt, like the chart. It's dumb.
No.
Oh, it's so bad. Anyways, their ass uniforms.
Yeah.
Then the Texans released their new uniforms, which are not bad. I actually kind of like them. But how many inferences of the Texans uniforms have we already seen now over the years? And so, of course, this is around the time of year where there's somebody that's designed some black helmet or some chrome helmet or some all black Raiders thing or some whatever else that starts to make the rounds on social media. And there is a sect of Raiders fans that are all about oh, we got to have this and we got to have that. And we got to just try this and, do whatever. Well, there's so many different variations on it. And I'm going to pound the table on this and listen, I know I'm an old guy or older anyways. And this might come across as get off my lawn. And if it does, tough shit, because then get the hell off my lawn. But don't mess. There's no reason to mess with the Raiders uniform. The reason that these teams make all these changes, the Jets made another one this year, whatever, they're trying to gain relevance in their look and their iconic status. Or whatever, the visual, the optics of their football team. They're trying to gain relevance in there. The Raiders don't need to do that. We're already there. Ask any player, ask any fan who has the best uniform in the NFL. It's the damn Raiders.
Yep.
You don't need to mess with them. You see the Packers making a bunch of changes, right? No, because tradition matters.
Yep.
The Raiders uniform is classic. There's no need to chase trends. Once you start down the path of chasing a trend, it will never end because trends evolve. The Raiders uniform is the t-shirt, leather jacket, and jeans of uniforms. Mm-hmm. It's so classic and so iconic, it's never going to run out of style.
Yep.
So let's not mess with it. Like, I even have trouble when we start going off colors and off. And listen, he's all about swag and all about gear and all that. And so, I don't shit on the things that he chooses to do with his gear. But to me, if it ain't the shield and it ain't silver and black and white accents, the end. I don't care for it. And when you look at the Raiders need to have an alternate. We already have the best alternate there is ever. Look at the most iconic photo in the world to me of the Raiders in an alternate is the Raiders AFL uniforms. You got Darryl LaMonica standing in front of Kenny Stabler, who's standing next to George Blanda, who's standing next to John Madden. And they're wearing silver pants, the white jersey with the silver number with the black outline, and the classic Raider helmet. The end. That's all you need for an alternate. I refuse to buy in this whole idea of to start chasing trends, Michelle, because look, you're an artist and you're very visual, and so is Jeff. Yeah. So I get it if there's alternate opinions, and I promise I'm not sitting here trying to be right, but what I am saying is that we are already perfect, so let's not screw around with it.
Yeah, I think those teams that are continually changing, they're trying to like find their identity. They're trying to find the thing that their fans want to wear, like want to rep. And I think they're still just trying to like find that identity of theirs. But the Raiders, they know they've created perfection. So like, why would you mess with that? Why would you screw that up? Why would you keep trying to change it to create something that you've already created? Like, it just doesn't make sense. So I think those other teams, they don't know what they're looking for. And so that's why they keep trying new things, because they're trying to land on something where their eyes go, that's perfect.
And it's not, it's never ending.
It's never ending.
It will never end.
Yeah.
They will chase. Look at Oregon.
Yeah.
They're the ones that kind of started this whole crazy uniform thing.
Yeah.
It will never end.
Yeah.
And it's like, and I'll save you the whole soapbox rant, but like when I'm watching college football sometimes and I'm flipping around and I've got two teams on and I can't like quite see the box score or whatever, the little flag on the corner of the screen or whatever. I'm like, who's playing? I don't even know. Where there was a time in my life, you'd flash up two teams on the screen, college or pro, and I'd be like, oh, that's who's playing. You know what I mean? Like, okay, speaking of those donkey uniforms, Jeff, and then let's go to you. Like, the Donkeys released these stupid ass uniforms. This is the second major uniform change they've had in their existence. And then they released their throwback, right? And what was the absolute consensus overall opinion from everybody online?
They hate it.
No, that the original one, the throwback,
that's
was by far the best uniform.
Yeah, because it was classic.
Yeah.
Just leave it alone. Like, that's the stuff to me. And listen, it's that stupid blue and orange and shit and that D and all that. Not like I have reverence for that look.
Sure.
But I get it. If I'm a Donkey fan,
I can respect it.
Just give me that and we're good and leave it alone.
Right. Yeah, 100%. Well, and Daniel Menges in the chat says nothing beats the silver and black. Enough said. All these new uniforms are ugly as hell, with a $50 donation, by the way.
My
Nation
nice.
Foundation. So,
Yeah.
So
Jeez, thank you, Brian.
respect to Daniel. And Matthew Menges says if it ain't broke, don't fix it. He followed it up with a $20 donation to the One Nation Foundation. So,
Thank you,
our good friend Mikey is in the building.
No, he's not.
Absolutely.
What's
Says,
up,
love
brother?
you all. Have a great draft.
What's up, brother?
I'll be live streaming, getting crunk. So, hey, Mikey, respect, my friend. Good to hear from you, brother. And Yep. Love what Mikey does, man. He's a great guy. But no, I totally agree with everything that both of you guys said. That is our identity. I mean, what did Al Davis say when Al Davis took over the team in 63? We looked like the Steelers. We had the silver,
burgundy and gold or whatever.
No, it was
yeah.
black and gold.
Was it black?
It was
I think it was black and gold.
It was
Yeah.
black and gold. Yeah, he
burgundy,
said.
yeah.
No, I don't think
it was
so.
black.
No, it was
I'm
black.
colorblind. You guys know
Oh,
that. Yeah.
that's true.
It looked burgundy to you.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was black and gold. But he looked like the friggin' Steelers. And what did he do? He modeled the Raider colors after his favorite childhood team, which was Army.
Absolutely, the Army
and it was
Knights.
the gold and black, but on the black and white screen, it looked silver and black.
Yeah.
And so he never forgot that, and that's the iconic look. That was Al Davis's vision. So yes, any alternative or any alternate jersey, which Swag, I'm all about an alternate. I love a damn
You wear a
alternate.
damn hat that looks like Granny's curtains with a Raider logo.
Absolutely,
in the middle of
and
it.
you know what? And I'll rock it
But
here.
the shield was still the same.
The shield's still the same, absolutely. But I don't want my team wearing any of that shit.
Yeah.
I can see now that I can respect
Raider
that.
image. You make as many alternates as you want. One of my favorite jerseys that I own is a Max Crosby jersey, and it's the black, and it's got silver outlining, but instead of the silver number, it's black on the inside.
Oh.
It's like this kind of blackouty thing.
Yeah,
and it's
yeah.
my favorite
I do
jersey.
like
I freaking
that.
love that thing. I don't want Max Crosby rocking that on the field. I want him rocking the classic black jersey.
Okay, now that
silver
I can
pants,
get with.
I can get
silver
behind.
That I can
helmet,
get with,
all
yeah.
that stuff. And and if there's any alternate classic AFL with maybe if you want to change anything, put that classic old school logo before they changed it to what it is now or whatever. But that's the only change that would ever need to be made.
And I like that logo. I like that old logo.
Me too.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Did you see East Coast Raiders super chat?
No, well, shout out to Super. I know we've got a couple of them.
Yeah, we had a couple of them came in. East Coast Raiders said he's talking about the draft. He said he thinks Jacoby Myers gets traded to the Patriots and a part of a trade for the 3rd overall pick to get Jaden Daniels if he's available. Which I mean, I love Cobes, but if it gets us Jaden Daniels, deal. Sign me up.
You know what though? I got some thoughts.
Tell us your thoughts, pal.
Well, I love it. Matthew also said Mark won't allow it. Darn right he won't.
Hell no, he won't.
No, Mark will not allow that. I don't know. We want to get into draft stuff? Yeah, go ahead. I'll tell you what.
We'll hit a break here in just a second.
Break.
So, hey, before we do that, Stacy Ruff in the building says, how else are we going to be distracted from another Wilson under center with those dopey ass jerseys with a $10 donation to the One Nation Foundation? Much respect. Much respect. Respect your Raider Nick who likes my hat. The Nation.
Yeah, that's
a good
work. That's good work. It's the old school logo. It's
with the shield, or with the skull in there, or whatever.
Absolutely.
So much respect. So hey, let's get into draft shit.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's hit a break, and we'll do.
Unless you all want to hear me rant about uniforms for
no
20 minutes.
We're done with that shit.
Jeez.
Hey, Raider Nation, this is Max Crosby from the Oakland Raiders.
And goes down, and Max Crosby, who forced a fumble last week.
You're listening to Murf, Mosh, and Swag Jeff on Raiders Fan Radio. Thank you so much. Just win, baby.
Well, I guess I gotta do a break now. Did I really just spill a drink on you?
Yeah, you spilled a cocktail all over me.
Just now?
How much on you is it?
It's in my shoe. It's in my everything. My brand new shoes.
This is a break, Michelle.
Critique is what am I saying now?
So Raiders Fan Radio. This is Swag Jeff and Michelle.
Raiders Fan Radio. Okay, all right, here we go. All right. Hey, my name is Lincoln Kennedy, and you are listening to Raider Fan Radio with Murf, Swag. I'm sorry, let's do that.
No, it's okay.
Swag
Jeff.
Swag Jeff. Michelle.
And Michelle,
That's
yes.
simple.
Yeah, that's like
Murf,
easy
Swag,
one.
Jeff, Michelle. Okay.
There we go.
This is Lincoln Kennedy, and you're listening to Raider Fan Radio with Murf, Swag, Jeff, and Michelle.
Thank you very much, sir.
Appreciate you so much.
That's great.
Hey, thanks a lot.
Appreciate you.
Really appreciate
Give
it.
it up for the legend, Lincoln.
Yeah, that was great.
Man,
That's
the legend
awesome.
himself, man.
That is so cool.
This is Dennis Haysbert, and you're listening to Raiders Fan Radio.
Love it.
Is that docile?
How cool is that?
That's amazing. I mean, we're in good hands.
Hey, I can write that off my taxes, Nick. I usually get about 50 grand for that.
All right.
How did I think that? He wasn't even near
wasn't
the
even
mic.
sitting here.
Just threw his voice into your mic as he was running. I don't even know what the hell I was
I played a break that had your voice in it, and Michelle was like, "Oh, I thought you guys were talking, but you weren't even here."
Because you said, did I really spill a drink in here? I was like, well, that could have possibly happened.
Well,
so,
'cause it happens
all the time. So, and then I realized that.
Okay. Let's not go with all the time.
What clip did you play with my voice in it?
Where he spilled the drink on you.
And Lincoln Kennedy, you hadn't heard these yet because I play them when you go to the bathroom.
Oh, good.
There's a little inside baseball.
Oh,
for you.
nice.
Yeah,
I love that.
All right. Let's get to the show.
Well,
all right,
and we're back.
There were 2 super chats.
Absolutely. Yep. Said, leave my shit alone is what Fabricator Gil said with a $20 donation to the One Nation Foundation. Absolutely. And then followed up by Ty the Raider, who says rant Murf with a $5 donation to the One Nation Foundation.
Our buddy Ty.
Man, these things are coming in. Thank you.
Yeah,
thank you,
thank
Raider
you.
Nation.
Thank you.
Wow, Summer of Swag isn't even here yet, and y'all are coming to play. Much respect.
We are getting after it tonight. I mean, that's awesome. All right, so, okay, I got some thoughts. All right, now listen, we're going to keep them brief because tomorrow night, everything's going to change, and anybody that's an audio podcast listener, they're going to be like, well, this is stupid. This is dated already, right?
Unless it's not.
Well, here's the thing. All right, I'm just going to say this, and I'm going to throw it to you guys. We'll go to you first, Jeff. I spent this past weekend really digging into looking at some highlights of and tape, as the kids say, on some of these quarterbacks. And I'm not a tape guy. I'm not an analyst. I'm not any of those things. But I watched a lot of the stuff. We talked about Caleb Williams and about how his game might translate to the NFL, and we've got a lot of questions around that. All right. inverse to popular opinion.
Okay.
I don't love Jaden Daniels' throws.
Oh,
Really?
Don't love it. I'm not getting married to Michael Penix. I'm not getting ready to change my name. But if I had to pick one player over the other, I'd pick Michael Penix over Jaden Daniels. I don't love the way Jaden Daniels' highlights happen when the play breaks down or he really forces the ball downfield. And against NFL corners, those tight throws, I don't think that they're happening at the success rate that they happened at LSU. When you look at Michael Penix, he's throwing guys open, where I don't see that out of Jaden Daniels. Now, listen, I'm just a dope in my freaking bonus room, hanging out talking Raiders with my best friends. I don't know. Like, I'm not a Ted Wynn. I'm not a tape study guy. But I do know that when you're throwing at your receiver who's looking at the ball and the corner has his back to you and he's not even playing the ball or looking for the ball, and then the wide receiver adjusts to it and it's a touchdown, that shit ain't going to work in the NFL. And so I'm just thinking, like, if there's a world where the Raiders could move up to get Jaden Daniels, I don't know if that's the best one. Granted, that you're talking about an afternoon of me watching videos on of the guy's career, but I'm not as convicted in it as maybe a lot of other folks are, and entirely comfortable if Michael Penix gets drafted at 13. I'm entirely comfortable if we draft Fuaga at 13. I'm entirely comfortable if we draft Quinyon Mitchell at 13 or Terry and Arnold at 13 and then move back up into the bottom half of the first round to get a quarterback. Or maybe we don't even get a quarterback at all and we ride with Gardner Minshew because we've drafted a beast right tackle to help protect him. And this is the thing too, the theme of this offseason and the theme of this draft season, we'll say, has been that everyone's got a different approach. And I don't think any of them are wrong. And that's the fun part about this as a Raider fan, is that there have been paths in the past where we've been like, oh gosh, I hope they don't do this. And I really hope they do that. And then they don't do that. And then they do this. And then we're all mad. I kind of feel like regardless of where we end up, if they follow the logical choice, there are multiple logical choices and we're going to be just fine.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Yeah, I don't think there's going to be a wrong choice that happens in this draft at all. You know, I know as Raider Nation, we all have PTSD of, you know, with the fourth pick in the 2019 NFL draft, the Oakland Raiders select Clelin Ferrell. You know, we're not going to see that. We're not going to see these Leatherwood things. We're not going to see all that because, like, a lot of these decisions were made by people that had never done it before and just saw something, they saw their guy or whatever. Tommy Telescopes has done this a time or two, and he's done it well. And Antonio Pierce knows who he wants as well. So, you know, realistically, you know, yes, I've been diving in a lot more on Penix too. I mean, I know what we're going to get. I feel a little differently than you on Jaden Daniels. I still think he's going to be an absolute all-star. If he I think Paul said in the building too, if he learns how to slide. You know, Jaden Daniels, when he runs
into contact,
he lowers his shoulder, he lowers his head, he gets the extra yard or whatever. He can't do that in the NFL.
No, and he's not a big frame guy anyway.
He'll look like Anthony Richardson, play 4 or 5 games and be out for the season or whatever.
And Anthony Richardson's a big, strong dude.
He's a big, strong dude, you know. But I realistically, you know, I've kind of been thinking that Penix is probably going to be the move. He's going to be the guy. And so I've been digging in a lot, and I'm with you, man. Like, Baldy says he's the second best quarterback in the entire draft.
Yeah.
You know, you talk to him,
his
that's what he says.
His arm is unmatched,
his arm is absolutely, it's a thing of beauty, man. It absolutely is.
And he does better at the line of scrimmage than what Caleb Williams does.
Sure.
And so, like, I'm telling you, man, Penix is freaking like that. Yeah. He's so I'm not going to sit here and say he's a generational dude because that's really sticking it out there. And we don't live in that speculation world. We talk about the Raiders that are, not the Raiders that aren't.
Right.
But if I had to like shove my chips in on a guy.
Yep. There you go.
That's the one.
And
that's the guy, even over Caleb Williams. I'm not saying Penix should be the number 1 overall draft pick, but I'm just saying that when you look at talent, and when you look at what he was asked to do within the system, and you look at his production, and you look at what he has done as a leader, like he checks all the boxes more than I think some of these other quarterbacks. I just, you know, and watch, he's going to be a Seahawk, and then I'm going to be like, oh, well, screw that guy.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you know, but I think if he's available at 13, I don't see a scenario where you can't take it.
How do you know? How do you pass
like
it? Yeah.
you can't like.
But if they did, if they draft Fuaga,
right. Well,
or Quinion Mitchell, and our defense is freaking stacked.
Yeah, but maybe you trade back up and get one of those guys then. Maybe you draft at 13 and then you trade back up to 18 and grab one of those guys if they're available. But I just don't think you can pass on him in hopes that Penix will be there later. That terrifies me that we're not going to have a franchise guy.
Yeah, I still stand on what I said the last time when QB Jeff was here. I think, because especially with Jane Daniels, like the thought of what they would have to give up seems so significant that it could hinder, things that happen in the future. And I know they need to win now, especially as far as Antonio Pierce goes and all those things. But I really think the offensive line, like if the defense is already looking really incredible, and I know they're still going to add in that like in later rounds and stuff, but the offensive line, like if that gets shored up more and starts to become the dominant force that the defensive line is, like I really feel like they would focus on that. And I know you said you could roll with Minshew and who knows, maybe O'Connell, like really steps up his game. Who knows? But I do think you still need to take a quarterback. I think at 13, you take Penix if he's there. But even if they didn't, it doesn't feel like there's a scenario where it's something bad happens. We're all like, what the, yeah. I don't see a scenario where, and thank goodness there's a seasoned person in there that's done this before. He's not going to, do things off the cuff, and they're in there really thinking about it, talking about it. Like, I really feel like they're going to make the exact decision that the Raiders need made. And
he's our first tenured full-time GM since Al Davis.
That's
100%. And Antonio Pierce said in that what was it, the coaches and owners breakfast a few weeks ago, whatever. He said that Tommy Telescopes it's the yin to my yang. So Antonio Pierce wants to swing for the fences. Yeah. But Tommy's done this a time or two before, so they can find this happy medium. But yeah, I'm telling you, like, I'm anxious and I'm nervous to see who we're gonna get, but I'm not anxious and nervous to see us swing and miss.
Yeah,
because I don't see a scenario where that happens. No matter who we get, I think this first round pick is gonna be a freaking baller.
Yeah,
gotta be, absolutely. Yeah. And so let's check in with Tommy Telescopes as he talks about moving up or down in the draft.
Speaking about the information and the newsworthy of this, there's talk, do the Raiders trade up? Do they trade down? Have you ruled anything in or out in terms of the trading up part? And based on your history of doing this, what's been the level of engagement, especially from the teams that are ahead of you, in terms of any of those possibilities?
Right. Yeah, newsflash. GM says he's open to trading up, moving back, picking a spot. Like everybody always says the same thing. So, like we have a plan right now to go up if we have to and be aggressive with it. We've got a plan if we stick and pick, obviously, and we got a plan to go back if it's within a certain range. It's been normal this year as like other years. Like there's been conversations with other teams, but it's probably more general than specific. It really wouldn't get more specific to usually like later in the process, Tuesday, Wednesday, even Thursday, even sometimes when you're on the clock. So, but it's been about the same amount of work that goes into that.
All right, so here's my bold prediction on tomorrow.
Okay.
We just draft somebody at 13. I don't think we're moving up or moving down. Telesco doesn't have a history of doing that. And I think that we're going to draft not the best player available, but the best player available at the position of most need is what's going to happen tomorrow. And I feel entirely confident based on what Michelle had to say. This is a seasoned guy. This is the guy that has hit home runs early on. And there's been questions on his later rounds, but there's also been a lot of coaching changes that have eroded his ability to be effective in the later rounds. And I'm telling you, I got faith that he's going to get the next Derwin James or freaking Justin Herbert or what. Like, you think about this guy's early picks, he's done pretty damn well.
Yeah, well, it's interesting, because obviously you can take any of these clips and turn it and mold it and dissect it and all this stuff and be like, oh, well, he said that. But what he did say that I thought was interesting, that they have a plan that they would move up if they need to. So to me, as a stupid ass Raider fan, to me, I look at that and go, well, if they say they like a guy like Penix, and we see Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels, Drake May, J.J. McCarthy off the board by 7 or 6, then if they love Penix, they'll trade up to 8 and go grab Penix.
Right. You're talking about moving a few, not moving to 3.
Yeah. So where we may give up, maybe next year's number 1 or something like that, like swapping number 1s plus one more number 1 or whatever it is.
Sure.
Like, I could totally see that. But like, I feel like a lot of people haven't talked about the possibility of trading up to get Penix. Like, it's always like, if we're trading up, we're gonna go get Jaden Daniels. If we're trading up, we're going to get one of these top couple guys. But I think there's a real scenario where if they're in love with freaking Michael Penix, we saw Antonio Pierce on the sideline at Allegiant Stadium watching Penix. He may freaking fall in love. He may be in love with that dude. So there may be a situation where he has to go up and get him.
Michelle, and my other prediction on this draft has been that there's going to be a run on quarterbacks. And so to Swag's point, like that makes a lot of sense that the Raiders might have to move in.
I think they have a plan for, if this happens, then we this. If this happens, then we'll that. Like, I think they probably have 30 scenarios where they know what they're going to do. Because obviously, when the draft starts, you ain't got a whole lot of time. They have every scenario decided what we're going to do. But I think moving up, you guys, and I've already told you, I don't pay a whole lot of attention because I don't want to fall in love with a player that ends up not being a player that we have. So I don't pay a ton of attention, but I have heard so many great things about Penix as far as his overall ability to start immediately and to really just get in there and do the things that need to be done. So I wouldn't be upset with that, but I also wouldn't be upset if they did something else. You know? So,
absolutely. Yeah, and then there's been some comments in the chat room about him being injured or broken or whatever. Listen, the guy's played 27 straight. Everyone's injured. The guy's played 27 straight games in college without being injured. What was the big knock against Tua? Was the same thing. He had both these surgeries on his ankles or whatever. Tua's injuries in the NFL have been from concussions. Has nothing to do with his lower extremities. So
absolutely. And Indiana just absolutely destroyed him.
They destroyed him.
They were trash, and that offensive line was absolute garbage. Couldn't protect him for shit. But when he gets to Washington, he turns around a friggin' program, and he's totally healthy.
Absolutely.
Well, I don't remember. I think it was Silverback today, but either Mo or Scott said there's a difference between being injury prone and being injured. A few, and that's the difference. You see, he played that many games in a row.
Prone.
He just had some really significant injuries.
Absolutely. Consigliere Salt in there, who's also known as Cousin Sonny. He says anybody but Knicks, Fack Horgan.
There you go. There you go.
And we agree.
Hey,
we're not
I'm
big
with
Bo
you.
Nix fans.
I'm not a Knicks guy.
I'll save you another rant on Bo
Unless
Nix.
he goes Raiders, and then he's our favorite quarterback.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know what? I want Bo Nix. I want Bo Nix to go to the Broncos.
Oh,
that's what I want because I think he's soft.
Then we could just point at him.
I think he's soft.
I think he's soft.
Bro.
Yeah.
Watch me say
SAWFT. Soft.
Well, we say that, and he might be my favorite quarterback tomorrow. I don't know.
No, he won't be my favorite
Probably
quarterback
not.
tomorrow. I'll be the biggest
Minshew
Gardner Minshew fan. Yeah, absolutely. All right, so before we go to break, I want to play one more. So let's go to the legend. Speaking of Graphic Raider, he gave us a really nice compliment the other day when we were on with him, and he was talking about how on our show how we reflect so much back on the history and the greatness of the Raiders and like where we get to today heading into the 2024 draft. Where does all this start and stop, and where does it come from and all that, and the tradition? And we've spoke about it endlessly about the greatness of the Raiders and and everything that's happened in our past. Not to live in it, but to be informed by it because it was amazing. We've even got some comments from Gardner Minshew coming up about how incredible the Raiders have been in their history. So to close out our draft segment, let's start and end with the legendary Al Davis and his approach to the 1974 draft, where this is where the Raiders really became the Raiders.
Perhaps no single evaluator of talent in the NFL of 1974 believed more strongly in his own expertise than Renegade owner Al Davis. He opted to have his Raider personnel do all their own player grading at a time when most NFL teams were part of cooperative scouting services.
Plesto, Bears, Lions, Eagles, Steelers, that's Plesto. SEPO was Central Eastern Personnel Organization. They were scouting combines. That was part of the mystique of the Raiders. We refused to be part of that.
I always wanted to belong to a combine because I wanted to get as much information on a player as I could. But Mr. Davis, when I was working there, you get the information. That's your job. Don't worry about somebody else's information.
Al trusted his own ability to pick players and find talent. Al was a really good coach before he became an owner.
The great rivalries continue.
And he could look at a player and decide whether this guy could play or whether he couldn't play. And more specifically, could he play for me?
Just win, baby.
They had a scouting network that went everywhere. There was a story that someone claimed that they went to the dark side of Africa. The only non-natives they found there were 2 missionaries and a scout from the Oakland Raiders. Maybe some truth to that.
They made decisions based upon intelligence as well as, the 40 times. I was never timed in the 40 with the Raiders. I would have hamstring problems. They didn't want to time us. They could tell in the practice if you could run fast enough. But they also had to know where you're going to make a mental error. So it was part of their system.
In the Raiders School of Player Grading, Dave Casper scored high marks, even while some of his numbers were not the most impressive.
He wasn't the fastest of guys. He was like a 4.7, but he was one of those guys who knew how to get open.
240-pound tight end Dave Casper was a massive spark plug of the Irish offense.
He had a reputation for not being the most coachable guy. There were some questions about how committed he was to football. But, Al Davis was a guy that was not afraid to take chances on someone.
Many other teams probably wouldn't have picked him in the second round. But that's a perfect example of the Raiders identifying what they wanted for their team and he being a perfect fit.
All right, so that speaks to the culture of the Raiders. It speaks to, I think, that we are in a position now with the way that this team is structured, with Antonio Pierce leading the charge. I know Tom Telesco is the GM and making the picks, but he's not going to draft somebody that's not going to fit into the culture of Antonio Pierce's locker room. And when we look at this draft, and they had some monsters back then, but Henry Lawrence gets drafted in the first round. He is pick number 19 overall. Guess what? He played right tackle for us for 13 years. From 1974 to 1986, Henry Lawrence holds it down for us. Dave Casper in the second round there, as you heard, Hall of Famer, right? In the second round, Mark Van Egan is drafted at running back at the third round, who is still on the very short list of all-time Raiders rushers in terms of yards. And then Morris Bradshaw, wide receiver, who plays 9 years for the Raiders, also drafted. So bang, 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 bang at the freaking in the draft. The awesome thing. So listen to this. Henry Lawrence is one of 6 Raiders players. Here's some trivia, chat room. Check in on this and see if you know this off the top of your head. And I'm going to challenge you guys here in the fan cave. Henry Lawrence is one of 6 Raiders players that played in all 3 Raiders Super Bowls. They played all 3 and won. The 3 winning Super Bowls for us. We played in 5. We've won 3. Henry Lawrence is one of them, who was drafted in the first round by Al Davis in 1974. Can you guys name some of the others that were in there? Chat room. What do you got there? We talked about his jersey earlier today. I'll give you that hint to you guys. No, I'm sorry. Never mind. That was Dave Casper. We talked about earlier. But yeah, Henry Lawrence.
You go first. You got any?
No,
there's some very high profile guys, but maybe not the ones you would think.
Okay.
It's not Gene Upshaw. It's not Kenny Stabler.
Right.
It's not Freddie B. It's not those guys.
Right.
Okay. But there's one big. Well, I'll give you one, Michelle. Who is Freddie B's teammate on the other side of the line, the other side of the field, playing wide receiver? Yes.
Cliff Branch?
Yes, okay, there you go. Okay. Cliff Branch. So Cliff Branch played for all 3 Raiders Super Bowl winning teams. Do you remember who our center was?
Oh, God.
Dave Dalby.
Dave Dalby.
Good
Attaboy.
job, Swag.
Double D, Dave Dalby. Attaboy.
Yep.
All right.
Ray Guy.
Yes. Come on, Swag Jeff.
Come on.
Swag.
There you go. Attaboy. Swag Jeff.
Absolutely.
Who was prowling the middle of the field and blocking field goals?
That would
out of
be
Miami.
Would that be Rod Martin?
No, close.
Double Nickels.
No, not Matt Millen.
Who was the other one?
I thought you were going to say Mad Stork.
Mad Stork. That's
Ted Hendricks.
Hendricks.
Ted Hendricks, number 83. Kick him in the head, Ted. And then this one, no one will get. It is Steve Sylvester.
Oh, geez.
Is your last guy.
Love that guy.
I played on the offensive line. Steve Sylvester was a rotational guy for the Raiders. But yeah, there are 6 players. Next time someone wants to challenge you on Raiders trivia, hit them with
That's
that
a good one.
That's a good one.
That's a good one.
Because there's some deep cuts in there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's some deep cuts in there. So anyways, all right. That's some good stuff there on the draft. Appreciate you, Raider Nation. Shout out the chat room. Take us to a break, Swag Jeff, and then let's talk about Antonio Pierce.
Absolutely. Raider Cam, Jordan Ford, Tony Shefford, Raider Nick, Dead Mike, Eric Raiders, Haters, Hunter, Erica Channel. Yeah, what's up, man? Space Beast, Raider John.
What's up, man?
Paul, Ronnie Reed, the Meng Guy, Fabricator Gil, Foxy Scorpio, Mr. Tiki, Trinidad. What's up, Trin? Let's see here. Hooligan Nation, Sonny. Oh, man. Let's see here. Ray Love, Zeke.
Wow.
Yeah, we got the whole crew, man. Hey, let's go to a friggin' break. Holy cow.
Jeez.
Okay.
Oh, there's so many.
This is AJ Cole from the Las Vegas Raiders, and you're listening to Murf, Mosh, and Swag Jeff on Raiders Fan Radio. Just win, baby.
Look at Ron. He said Swag is skating for short names.
That's exactly what I was doing.
Yeah.
Well, I normally just shorten the names anyway. If it's one
that
that's
was a
super
tough
long,
one to shorten,
but
though.
that one was real long,
can't.
and I wanted to give it
Shout
proper
out
respect.
TS. Shout out Ron M.
There you
Shout
go.
out R. Dank Vader.
Yep.
Just shorten him up.
Yep.
Actually, I do want to shout one out. I want to shout out Shane Tolbert and congratulate him on his nuptials.
Oh, yay! Congratulations.
He said he got married last week. Congratulations. Everybody getting married around here. Look at that. How about
That's
that?
right.
Congratulations, Shane. We almost got the same anniversary, man. That's awesome, man. Congratulations to you and your bride.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about Antonio Pierce. Because if it's not Raiders Fan Radio, if we're not talking about Antonio Pierce.
Yep.
Here's Antonio Pierce, first day of voluntary OTAs, as we played earlier. As you heard the guys walking in to the facility there. Let's check in with Antonio Pierce as he is addressing the team.
First of all, I appreciate everybody being here. Totally voluntary, get it. But Max, we always talk about it. You want to be great. Got to show up every day, right? Got to show up every day. There's a standard, there's an expectation, and then there's the regular way. Get better. Do line, get better. Wide receiver core, get better. QBs, get better. Specials, get better. AP, get better. Patrick, get better. It's the reason I brought Marvin Lewis in, former head coach. Joe Philbin, former head coach. Why? Get better, AP. The passion has to show up. If you don't love this, shame on you.
Yeah.
If you don't love this, shame on you. Shame on you, man. I'm fortunate to be in these seats. I'm winning my spot. We're earning the right to keep going each and every day. So show that passion and love for the game and for being a Raider. We're on the same page?
Oh my gosh, I love it.
Yep.
So I love it, Michelle. He says there's the standard, there's the expectation, and then there's the Raider way.
Man.
Like, come on.
Golly.
Goosebumps, man. That is so freaking good. And those are the kind of things that anybody going into this process before Antonio Pierce was hired as a full-time Raider head coach, Michelle, and we were sitting here on these microphones and talking about the impact of Antonio Pierce and the culture of the organization and how that does equate to wins. All you fools out there that were like, oh, they didn't hire or they didn't interview enough people. They needed to do a better process. They should have interviewed this person and that person and this person. F all that. When you know you've got the guy in the house, in the room, you freaking give him the job.
They interviewed too many people.
Dude, right?
Come on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, Antonio Pierce was the guy from day one, and he was undeniable. I tell my boys that all the time. I'm like, you want something in life? Be undeniable. Be better than everyone else that's in the sphere, in the room. Be undeniable. And that's what Antonio Pierce was. He was undeniable, and he got the damn job. And then here we are, day one, Michelle, of off-season OTAs, and he's already getting everybody fired up.
Yeah, like Antonio Pierce knows exactly what it means to be a Raider. So he is going to be able to instill that. Well, he's going to be able to see first if someone even deserves to be a Raider. And then before they even bring him in, then once they're brought in, he's going to be able to instill all of those characteristics that make a Raider special. And I know, like you said, a lot of people, you know, they're thinking X's and O's, but there are sometimes intangibles that you can't see.
Yes.
And you can only see it once it's a product on the field and off the field for that matter. But I love that. I can't think of a better coach to bring the Raiders back to who they need to be and who they've been in the past. Like, this is
if this doesn't work, then
let it go. Then let it go. Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yep.
He is the absolute perfect coach to bring them back to the Raiders of old.
Yeah, I think so too. You know, well, and I love that you said, you know, day one of OTAs, right?
Man.
And you also said got the entire room fired up.
Yeah.
Look how full that freaking room was.
Oh,
voluntary OTAs, and you got the whole freaking team, man. You
Come
got
on.
and not only do you have the team, you got them fired up, all that stuff. You hear them, you know, cheering and, you know, yes, yeah. You know, I mean, you know, obviously
Engaged.
Very engaged. You know, I mean, for sure, man. So, I mean, there's no other option. Antonio Pierce is undeniably our head coach.
Oh,
He's
man.
undeniably a Raider. He is undeniably the only man for this job and undeniably the guy that's going to bring us back.
Absolutely. Sonny and their cousin Sonny says, NFL players are humans. Humans need motivation, even millionaires.
Period.
And that's it. You want to be part of something bigger than you. We want to be part of something. It's why we love the Raiders and love Raider Nation, love this whole thing. Well, guess what? When you're part of the team and you're on the team, you want that. And there's something else too that I had on a takeaway from that is that one of the criticisms of him, and I understand the criticism, is it a rah-rah thing? Because rah-rah is fleeting, right? Emotion is fleeting. You can't carry that. That's why Bill Belichick is monotone and is one level, no matter if they've won the Super Bowl or if they've, you know, won 2 games in the season. He's one tone. Because he never wants to get too high, never get too low. It's the old adage. But you can maintain intensity. And I didn't hear any rah-rah in there from Antonio Pierce, but he's still intense. But it's also not oppressive. It's not like, my way or the highway. You better get with what we're doing or you're out of here. It's not like that. It's not threatening. It's not volatile. It's not, there's no conflict to it. It's intense. Is that here's what we're doing. And that's it. The end. Like, here's what we're going to do. Yeah. And so, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
it's authentic.
Thank you.
It's authentic. He's not fabricating anything.
It is. Well, and you know, what was so amazing about the Raiders of the 70s and 80s is that the culture was built together. It was all built, that team made the culture. John Madden didn't make the culture alone. He was instrumental.
He provided an environment for it to thrive.
He provided the tools or all that for it to grow. And, you know, and this is now the second or third time on Raiders Fan Radio where I've kind of sort of compared Antonio Pierce to John Madden, and they're not at all the same yet. But the mentality,
the trajectory,
but the mentality, the approach, all that stuff is the same. You know, but he's not doing it the Madden way. He's doing it the Antonio Pierce way. But that way is very similar. So it's not, this is what I've done. You're going to do things my way. It's, hey, let's get together and let's build this sucker, man. Let's do it. Absolutely. I love it. SoCal Sal in there says, practice hard, play tough, and kick ass. That's it, man. That's it. Madden rules, Madden approach. Keep it simple. You know what I mean? And so I love it. Here's a fun one. I love throwing stats.
I like fun.
I love throwing stats at you guys. This is what here's my wish. Here's my Raider fan wish for this season. Okay. Most wins at Allegiant Stadium for a coach and quarterback combination. Okay? The Raiders don't lead the list.
Nope.
Do you know who number 1 is?
Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes.
Yes, with 5.
Yep.
So quarterback and head coach combination.
Uh-huh.
Do you know who second is?
Hold on. Is it Antonio Pierce and Aiden O'Connell?
Oh, wow.
With 4. And then they are tied with John Gruden and Derek Carr at 4 and Josh McDaniels and Derek Carr at 4.
Holy shit.
Okay. Wow.
If we can win,
That makes me a little sick.
Yeah, a little bit.
if we can win more than 4 games at home this year, then Antonio Pierce and whoever the quarterback, well, if it's O'Connell, then it'll go way up. But yeah, say we draft a rookie, start a rookie, play Gardner Minshew, whatever the thing is, then yeah, there's an opportunity for Antonio Pierce and whoever, since we've been in Las Vegas.
Wow.
Yikes.
Wow.
So we've never beat Kansas City at home.
No, we've only beat them on Arrowhead. Beat them in Arrowhead twice. We circled the circled the stadium in Gruden's bus, and then we freaking beat them last year when Jack Jones stared down Mahomes in the end zone.
Holy cow.
This is where I say, like, and regardless of what happens tomorrow, this is the stuff where I say that, like, Tom Telesco and Antonio Pierce's legacy, their careers as coaches and general manager is, I'm not going to say it's entirely tied to this draft, but it is entirely tied to the significance of how well we do in this draft, how well they play in the 2024 season, and maybe 2025.
Yep.
Because if it's a shit show in 2024, I mean,
Yep.
You know what I always say about critics? They're always right until you prove them wrong.
There you go.
And so right now, the critics of Antonio Pierce saying he's an inexperienced head coach. Tom Telesco has a bad track record in San Diego, yada, yada, yada. All that bullshit, which we don't buy into. But you can be critical of everybody until they prove you wrong. Because you got to be what? Undeniable. Be freaking undeniable.
Yep.
And these guys are going to have to do that this year. And if they're undeniable, guess what? They're going to be number 1 on this freaking list. Hopefully. And I know we don't like Warren Sapp, but I remember Warren Sapp used to say, not when he was even with the Raiders, but this was, it might have even been from Tony Dungy, that Tony Dungy used to tell the Buccaneers, win all your games at home and win half your games on the road.
Yep.
Done. And now that was back when there were 16 games. That would equal 12 wins. You're in good shape. And I kind of feel like that's where the Raiders, that's got to be the approach, the mentality. And so if they do that, if we can win at home this year, which is not always easy, but if we can win those damn home games, then all of a sudden those guys are number 1 on this list and we're competing for a damn playoff spot, man. Or
absolutely.
Have a playoff spot anyways and competing for a postseason run.
Well, Antonio Pierce and Tom Telesco need to have that stat that you just put out there in the draft room. Because that's how you're gonna be successful. You can't have Patrick Mahomes leading your stadium in wins, against a head coach. Like, come on, man.
He just won a Super Bowl on our freaking turf, man.
Yeah.
That ought to make you effing sick.
Sick.
Absolutely. All right. So let's go back to the roots. So this is interesting. I came across this. This is we're going to keep it celebratory about Antonio Pierce, but it came unfortunately at the demise of the Raiders. I don't know if anybody you remember the game that when Antonio Pierce was leading the defense of the New York Giants. I want to say this is 2014-ish.
Okay.
13 maybe. I don't know. Somebody in the chat room will know. But when the Raiders went to the Meadowlands and played against the Giants, well, guess who was mic'd up that day?
Nice.
Antonio Pierce. So let's check in with Antonio Pierce mic'd up against the Raiders. But then I promise you, this show, you know me, we're going to put a positive spin on it.
First of all, I appreciate everybody being here.
Not that. This one.
Don't make it look so effortless out there, boy. Ahmad averaging 10 yards per carry, bro.
Ahmad Bradshaw.
For 110. That's ugly. Let's run like we know how to run and hit like we know how to hit. Damn it. Let's roll. Swagger back, over, 4 wheels, under, 33 buzz, holy Tahoe, alert Fox.
He's calling it out.
ISO it, rock. All right, D, come on. Hey. Run, and run. It's a run, 100%. They're going to run the ball. That's all they're going to do.
Michael Bush. AP crushes him.
That quarterback's 300 pounds, legit.
Let's talk about Jamarcus.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
He went over and tackled Jamarcus.
Correct.
Okay, so here's so it's 2013. I was pretty close. It was November of 2013. The Giants beat us. Is that the one? No, that's not the right one. This is the one. It was 2009.
Yeah, I was about to say, yeah.
2009. Yeah, so the Giants beat us 44-7 on that day. And so here's what oh my gosh. I remember watching that game. It was rough.
Holy
And
cow.
so here's what Antonio Pierce had to say after the game. And I remember when he said this, I was so pissed off. I'm like, man, if Antonio Pierce. I'm like, but he was right at the time. Antonio Pierce at the time. Don't take that out of context. Yeah, at the time. Because here's what he had to say. He said, I don't like knocking teams, but right now they're struggling. We're playing the game the other day, and honestly, it felt like a scrimmage. It felt like a practice. It felt like we were going against our offense in a controlled setting as far as the tempo. And I remember hearing that going like, oh, like just freaking crushes us, saying that we were inept.
Crushed
We were
us
that
twice.
bad. But he goes on to say this. There was no vibe of trying or effort from the Raiders at all from a defensive standpoint against their offense. We're getting 3 and outs. You don't hear anybody saying, hey, let's go. Trying to pick guys up, rallying them, getting them fired up. There was nothing. It was quiet. A guy gets sacked or somebody gets beat and they just get up. It's not like there's no yelling or any kind of emotion about the way they were playing. It was shocking to be out there in that game and get that kind of feeling. The 1-4 Raiders, who somehow beat the Chiefs, have lost 3 straight games by 20 or more points and scoring 7 points or less in each game. But then AP says this, it's sad because I grew up a Raiders fan. That organization right now, they need some guidance. They need somebody to pick them up.
Wow.
Goosebumps. Who's the guy now that's going to
I'll do it.
pick us up?
I'll do it.
I got this shit.
Yep.
Come on.
Yep. Absolutely. Wow.
Hey Raider Nation, this is Max Crosby from the Oakland Raiders.
And goes down, and Max Crosby, who forced a fumble last week.
You're listening to Murf, Mosh, and Swag Jeff on Raiders Fan Radio. Thank you so much. Just win, baby.
This is Raiders Fan Radio. I'm Brent Musburger, and I don't care who wins, as long as it's the Raiders.
All right, let's have some fun. All right, so
We're talking about that was fun. That last segment was fun.
that was fun. You know me, I love my stats.
Yeah, you do.
So we're going to kick off the conversation with this. I'm going to give you, oh gosh, I've been challenging you guys a lot tonight. Yeah.
Okay.
One last one. I promise is the last one. All right. Okay, I'm going to throw you 2 players. These are 2 starting quarterbacks in the NFL. Okay. And I'm going to give you their career numbers.
Hold on, let me get my pen.
Get your pen and see if you can identify who I'm talking about. Now, you guys know the segment, so it should give you at least a little bit of an indicator. When we compare these 2 guys' stats, stat comparison, one player, player A, has played in 49 games. Player B has played in 50. Okay. Player A has 9,937 yards.
Okay.
Player B has 11,000. Player A has 59 touchdowns. Player B has 58. Player A has 24 interceptions. Player B has 39. Player A has a quarterback rating of 90.2. Player B has a quarterback rating of 85.0.
Okay.
Player A, give me those stats. If I'm looking at this strictly by statistics.
I want that guy.
Okay. Any guesses on who player A is versus who player B is? Michelle?
Which one's which?
Yeah.
I mean, I know one of them is Gardner Minshew.
Come on, there you go.
Because of the segment, but whoever the hell the other person is, not bad. Who's the other guy? You guessing?
I know who it is.
Oh, who is it?
It's Trevor Lawrence.
Oh my gosh, you did good. You guys nailed it.
Yeah.
Where's the applause?
Yeah.
Dude,
So what I see there is guard dog is greater than Lawrence.
There you go.
That's what I'm hearing.
Yep.
Guard dog is a freaking gamer, man.
He's is, though.
And I know we don't live on stats, but we do live on stats that equal wins. And that guy almost took the Indianapolis Colts to a freaking playoff game last year.
With a pretty ass roster.
Yeah, he's always in the mix of something.
Always.
That's the thing about him. And that's why I think you give him the foundation. Like you said, the Colts were kind of ass, like the people around him, and they still almost did it.
Absolutely. And so we're going to go to the Rush podcast. This is Max Crosby's podcast. And we're going to talk a little bit about these guys. This is freaking phenomenal, by the way. This is just a great episode. It's just a fun listen. Gardner is just so chill and so, but like, how do you have a guy that comes out of Mississippi, plays through JUCO and small schools, ends up at Washington State, plays with Mike Leach, who's a legend, rest in peace. How do you get to that point? It's mentality to me. Like, right? That's how underdogs achieve, right? It's mentality. And so we know Max Crosby has been part of these amazing off-season programs. He's been boxing and MMA and all this kind of stuff. And he invites Gardner to a session with him.
Oh, nice.
And Gardner was ready to go.
We do boxing every Wednesday. Go up to Gardner and say, hey, come in there Wednesday, box. And he's like, bro, fuck it. I'm fucking down. And I've never had a quarterback even come near me. Gardner didn't even hesitate. And he's like, absolutely, let me know what time, whatever. All of a sudden, you start doing our boxing, and he's circling around the boxing thing. And I'm like, what's going on here? Something's off. I go up to him after, I'm like, they wouldn't allow me. AJ shut me down. Strength coach, he's like, you're not boxing. He was so disappointed.
Dude, I was like the sad kid on the other side of the fence.
Bro.
Freaking Shmuel in the striped pajamas over there. Just wishing I could be over here.
He's just circling. I'm like, what's going on? Scouting me as I'm going. He has no fear.
For sure.
Gardner Minshew is a dog.
Come on. Yeah. He's got no fear. He's a dog, man. Yep. So I'm telling this is where, let's get through some more of these clips. But I think the ultimate, my takeaway on this thing is, if we don't draft a quarterback tomorrow in the first round, kind of okay right now.
We're going to be all right.
Because of mentality, because of a culture, because that's what leads to greatness, man. Mm-hmm. You know, anyway, I'll save the rant here. Well, let's keep going on these. Let's hear from Max on some of these offseason get-togethers that the Raiders have been doing. And, of course, you're going to hear Gardner Minshew as well.
Do you have any off-season plans with the guys? You mentioned quarterbacks. So when I was in Pittsburgh, Ben would take the receivers to his place at somewhere secluded. Don't know. Didn't get the invite for that one, D. Do you have any plans like that with the guys? Because you're a captain.
Just bought a new place, building a whole facility basically at the house. So Fridays, they're technically off. I mean, Fridays are going to be at the crib. We have the field, we have the basketball court, pool, the whole deal, and just have the guys over and just work, bond, spend time together, and get closer, especially before we get to camp. Even offensive guys, like even Minshew and all those dudes, I want all of us to spend time together, because at the end of the day, we're all relying on each other to win. So, I definitely plan on having the guys on Fridays at the crib once everything is.
The crib? Let's call it the compound.
Oh my gosh, I love it. Is there okay, I know we cite Devontae a lot as being a leader of the offense. But is there any doubt to who the leader of the Raiders is?
Oh, he's
player-wise.
He's the face of the franchise.
Yes, Antonio Pierce. Yes,
sure.
Antonio Pierce is number one. But after that, it's freaking Max, right, Michelle?
1,000%. He just oozes Raiders, and he is like the Pied Piper that's just going to start bringing in all of the people that will also do the same thing. Yep. He's elite.
Yeah, 100%. Well, and that's why, and you see people coming for that reason. They see the juice.
Yeah.
They see him work. And now he's building a new compound. He's building a new crib, all this stuff. So not only is he at the freaking facility at 5, 6 o'clock every morning and stuff like that. So when he goes home, he's going to keep working.
Yeah.
That dude's just, the motor he's just freaking relentless.
Yeah.
Just relentless every day.
Absolutely. And it comes out in his play, man.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It is absolutely crazy. All right, so let's go. Let's jump into some of the fun part of this.
Yes,
and
please.
listen, and there's so many fun parts of this thing. If you haven't heard it, go check out Gardner Minshew on the Rush podcast, and also shout out Max for finally getting them some good equipment.
Oh yeah.
So they're not trying to do podcasts on their iPhones. They've actually got legit mics and everything.
Yeah.
Sounds and looks much better. So so props to that. But anyways, this is fun because so Minshew being a Mississippi guy, right, and from that part of the world. There's a lot of connections to the Raiders. I mean, there's a lot of Raiders that are from the South, from the deep South. And we talked about it a little bit on the last show with Zeus White, right? Like being a good old country boy and like all that. So there's a lot of connection there. Well, I didn't think about the idea that like Gardner Minshew has met Raider legends way before he'd ever become a Raider. So he's got some great comments in here. And then Max, of course, tags it with some comments about the great Freddie B, who is just so near and dear to our heart and always the coolest guy in the room. So let's check in with Gardner Minshew talking about meeting Raiders legends.
I've actually met like a lot of the like Raiders like legends, which has kind of been cool. Met Fred Biletnikoff one time.
Bro, the
Dude,
best.
so sick.
The best.
Dude, just got tore up with him and Mike Leach. Dude, that's what like, they were both in there. Nah, never mind. I'm not going to tell the story. So I saw him. Well, all right,
Proceeds to tell the
everybody's
story.
pretty tore up at that time. And my dad, he's like kind of a big guy. And he thought my dad was like a coach or something. He's like, "Hey, coach, how you doing?" I'm good. Fred, how you doing, man? He's like, "I'm good." He said, "You talked to Jim lately?" He said, "Jim." He said, "Yeah, Jim Brown, coach. You talked to Jim Brown?" He's like, "No, I haven't talked to Jim Brown lately." He said, "Well, next time you talk to Jim Brown, you tell him Fred Biletnikoff." My dad said, "You know what? I will next time I talk to Jim Brown."
So casual. Like, your dad's like lost. Like, what is that?
He's like, "You know what? Definitely. Next time I see him."
Yeah, we should run into each
The real
other.
question is, did he ever get to see Jim Brown?
Huh?
Your pops. Did he ever get to see
There's
him?
no chance. No, that's like not that's not in the
No
realm.
chance.
Possibility.
No chance.
I met Ray Guy one time at a Hooters in Mississippi. That was
So
great.
random.
Saw Kenny Stabler. Met him.
Come on.
At an Alabama spring game.
The snake.
So he's like, role model for sure.
Yeah.
Just an electric fella all around.
Come
So yeah, man, I feel
on.
like it's been a long time coming, but I feel like Raiders been in my path.
Yeah, that's definitely something you'll recognize. Every training camp, practice, you'll just see legends just strolling through. Charles Woodson, George Atkinson's, Howie Longs. They come around all the time.
That's so awesome.
Yeah, you need to meet Rich Incognito. He's the one guy I want you to meet.
I've heard that.
He's
a lot of people. Yeah,
he's one of a kind.
It's probably not like that at other teams throughout the league. I'm sure some teams have great, like, I call them alumni. I don't really know any other way to put it, but like in the league, it's different. I feel like they don't come around as much, but like you said, anytime we go to the games, they are on the sidelines, warm-ups, hugging the guys, dapping them
Multiple
up.
gold jackets out there.
Yeah. Has it been like that in any of the other teams you've been at?
Not as much as I'd say here. Like in Indy, they had some guys that were generally around. But nothing like this. I mean, this place has so much history and rich history of like being good.
Yep.
That they got those dudes.
Oh my gosh, it's so freaking good. And you know what? I love it how Max Minshew says, "I met Kenny Stabler." Max says the snake.
Right.
And then Minshew jumps back in with like legend for sure. Like that, like, listen, I'm not comparing Gardner Minshew to Kenny Stabler, but energy wise, you're getting real similar. You're in the same neighborhood at a minimum, right?
Yep.
Yeah, just so charismatic and just easygoing, and he just, I don't know, he really just, he exudes that, like, I don't know what the word is, and maybe there isn't a word.
There's a chill to it, but there's a dedication to, like, it's an
but
interesting
not
dynamic.
Dumb, like it's not a dumb. He's so calculated, even in his words, when he sounds like it's so effortless. You can tell that he's really thinking about what he's going to say, and he's thoughtful. But yeah, I just love that dude. He's so funny.
No, I'm with you, man. Genuine. Jordan Ford says in there, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And yeah, and like, and he was unapologetic. Kenny was unapologetically Kenny. Like he was like this, he was himself. And also though, and like you talked about Max and you mentioned Michelle being the Pied Piper and like that's what Kenny was.
Yeah.
Kenny was the guy that was unapologetically himself and was the leader of the Raiders. And guess what? It freed everyone else to be themselves as well. And I think that's what we're seeing, a similar dynamic. Now, granted, it's a little bit of an inverse because you got Max Crosby leading the charge and now you got the quarterback following suit. But and I think Minshew was that anyways. But now it just becomes more and more amplified and whatever. I can ramble about this all day long, but it comes down to the culture, and it comes down to there's a beauty and a freedom in that you can just be yourself, because then you're not thinking about it.
Right.
You're not worried about, do I have to say this or act this way in a press conference? Do I have to be this way? No, you just be you, and then you're good. And it just gives you a freedom to play how you're going to play and talk how you're going to talk.
Absolutely. Well, and, so he says, not during that clip, but he says kind of earlier in the podcast, he's talking about, so coming in, you're kind of a journeyman a little bit, what's your thoughts on competing for the job? And he said, I don't feel like I'm competing for the job. He goes, I want everyone to be their best. I want everyone to be good, and I'm going to be good, but that makes the entire team and playing ball more fun. He goes, I'm not competing against Aiden O'Connell. I'm competing against Gardner Minshew. I'm competing against myself, be the best version of me I can be. So bringing in a guy like that, who's charismatic, who's fun, who's freaking, for a guy that sounds like a hippie, he's pretty freaking smart and knows how to read a defense, all that stuff. They asked him the question, what's your favorite offense you played for so far? He's like, well, I'm fired up about playing a West Coast. This is where I thrive.
Uh-huh.
This is where I set records at Washington State. I want to play this style of ball. This is where I want to go. I want to heave it. I want to do my thing. And obviously he wants to start and he wants all that, but he also, he gets the team mentality. Right.
Absolutely.
He just wants the team to be good.
When I love it, how he's like, it's kind of like a long time coming, Lark. It's been in my path. I think that's what he said.
Yeah,
It's been in my path.
Yeah.
So great stuff there. So appreciate everybody in the chat room.
Yeah.
Tons of folks in there. Jordan Ford is in there. Foxy Scorpio. We know the truth is in there. The Big Easy's in there. Long time no see, Big Easy. Hope you were doing well. You and the family. Good to see you in there. Raider Nick is in there. PSP Raiderette is in there. Lego My Ego is in there. KC fan. He says, am I welcome here? I'll tell you what, brother. Everyone is welcome in our chat room. We just say play cool.
Yeah.
And we've had a lot of Chiefs fans rolling through over the years. And just be cool, man, and have a good time. And you'll always be welcome. We take all comers here.
Yep.
Yeah.
Freddie Chavez is in there. Frankie Mosqueda, my guy, is in there. Ray Love is in there. Mr. Tiki is in there. Let's see who else we got in there. I'm looking for short names like Jeff. Jordan
Raider
Ford,
75.
Raider 75 is in there. Of course, Paul is in there. The legend. Oh So Evil is in there. Raider Loco is in there. We appreciate you also very, very much. Corey Fleck is in there. Thank you so much. Trinidad. What's up, Trin?
Yep.
Appreciate you.
Did you
my
say
man.
Big Easy? I haven't seen him in here in a while.
That's what I just said.
Oh, well, good.
Jeff, if you gotta
I was
listen.
looking for other small names.
You gotta
Short
listen to
names.
the show once in a while. Rick Rada is in there. We appreciate you all so very, very much. All right, I've got one more clip to play for you, and then we're going to get into the Sea of Fans mailbag where we hear from you, because more of you and less of us is a good thing. We'll reserve commentary on this, but I just want to get it in because I think this is
Sorry, somebody hit me that in the chat earlier. So
so I want to play this clip for you.
he was about to do it again.
So don't judge.
Sometimes it takes 2 tries. It's okay.
Hey, pause.
You ain't kidding. 51 ain't for everyone.
Play the clip.
It's tough out here in these 50-year-old streets.
Oh my God.
All right, let's check in with Christian Wilkins. No, we'll play that one next week. Just take us to Sea of Fans.
Okay, deal.
No, my turn.
He is fading, looking, running the gun. He's fired, he's thrown. It is.
I got it. Raider Nation, appreciate you all joining us. If you want to join us live, you can join in the best chat room in the world at RaidersFanRadio.com each and every week at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern. And we loved it. The show is best when it's interactive and conversational, as I mentioned. Chat room is a great way to do it. But also, we love to hear your emails, and we love to hear your voicemails. And you can email the show at any time at show.
Right.
That is show.
There we go. Slow down.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Wow, you're going a little fast.
Show.
There we
That
go.
is SHOW.
There we go.
Not two U's, one W. It's SHOW at RaidersFanRadio.com. And if we read your email an indefinite amount of times, you could become a made man or a made maiden here at Raiders Fan Radio, where you join the elite of the elite. And also you can join that club by calling and leaving a voicemail 3 times. That is at 909-345-3346. Or as the kids say, Michelle, 909-345-3346.
All the kids say that.
Absolutely,
Every one
they
of them.
do. Everyone that we ask them to say it, they say that. But we appreciate you, Raider Nation, joining us and live in the chat room, and everybody that has emailed and called tonight. And so Michelle always reads the emails. And so, Michelle, who do we have kicking us off tonight?
All right, we got Matthew Mangus.
Hi,
kicking us
Matthew
off.
Mangus.
Get ready. I'll bleep it myself. Hello, RFR family. Finally, the draft is upon us. Tomorrow night, we will meet the next set of Raiders. I'm all in on Michael Penix at 13, but don't rule out Jaden Daniels if the top teams go elsewhere. Penix is my pick because defensive back and offensive lineman can be addressed at 44. Let's be honest, we don't have a franchise quarterback. We have 2 bridge quarterbacks. Penix gives us a franchise quarterback for the next 5 to 10 years. Please, Telesco, don't bleep up. Penix gives us a quarterback that can compete now, plus Al Davis would love him. Thanks all for this twin. Stay safe, Raider Nation. Yours truly, Matthew Mangus, proud made man, 2-time Gemini Man winner.
Nice.
Thank you, Matthew. A little clap there, a little golf clap. Okay. All right. All right. Next, we have T-Hom. Dear RFR family, so excited about this year's draft. Hoping that we feel like we did in 98 after Woodson was drafted, not like we felt in 2009 when we all shat ourselves with the DHB pick. And who can forget the looks on everyone's faces when the 2019 pick was announced? F to the E to the R to the R to the E to the L to the L. It ain't furl. Anyway, I digress. Telesco might surprise us all and move up, but that's not his normal MO. Penix, Waga, Latham, Mitchell, or Arnold, one of those 5 guys. The point is, you have to get someone who can come in right away and add to the team that, in my opinion, was only a head coach away from the playoffs each of the last 2 seasons. Let's see what happens. Regardless, what I'm really curious about is this being a step-up year for Tyree Wilson, Byron Young, Chris Smith II, Britton Brown, Sincere McCormick, Matthew Butler, Jacorian Bennett, Darian Butler, Amari Burney, and Thayer Mumford. That's almost a fourth of the roster. Plus, this could be a breakout year for both Kuntz and Zeus. Anyway, looking forward to the Raiders' travel to Baltimore. I'll definitely be there, as well as hopefully at least one trip out to Vegas. Rumor has it that the Karaoke Kid is putting together a new Summer of Swag song for Jeff. So stay tuned for that. Just remember 3 things. 1, Lester Hayes belongs in the Hall of Fame. 2, the Raiders will return to the playoffs at the end of the 2024 season. And 3, Harbaugh is a French word that means overrated and overhyped. Love you, Raider Nation. T-Hom.
Hey.
Nice,
Thank you,
T-Hom.
Great. All right. Next, we have Daniel Mangus. So we've heard from Matthew. We're hearing from the other Mangus.
The Mangai.
Dear RFR, happy draft season is the time of year when we draft the future of our beloved Raiders. First off, I want everyone to take a deep breath in and out and smell the McDumbass free draft room.
You know what? What a great call.
That's a big
Great
time.
call out.
Yeah. It smells like freedom. Seriously, I'm so happy that dumbass is gone. Ooh, same.
Smells like regular sized ears in here. Normal ears.
Normal ears.
Smells like no visors.
Oh,
There's the lack of visor smell.
Nice.
I like that. Now on to move positive vibes. I am so hyped for
You
this
love that
draft.
shit.
I love that shit.
Why do we always lose it during
I don't know.
This
It
is always when the
happens.
shit goes
It is.
crazy.
It does go.
Oh my gosh.
I'm so hyped for this draft because we have
right
a
you
real
are.
Paul
OG.
called him a visor wearing tit.
Oh, that's so accurate.
Oh, wait a minute. You know what?
Absolutely.
And speaking of that, here's one of my favorite sound bites from the Minshew interview.
Okay.
Okay.
Some areolas and, what are you going to do?
What's better than that?
What's better than that?
What's better than that?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. He was talking about going to that spa. And he goes, yeah, I saw some naked people at a spa. And you hear Max goes, and the underrated part of that, Max goes, lucky.
Yeah. Okay, now I have to go back and listen to that.
Some areolas and, what are you going to do?
What are you
What's better
going
than that?
to
What are you going to do? What's better than that?
do? What's better than that?
Oh my
All right.
gosh! All right, sorry. All right.
I am so hyped for this draft because we have a real OG at GM. What are you going to do? Who's been around the block and will make the best pick wherever we pick? Who do I want? Jaden Daniels. I'm in a bleep them picks mood. We need a home run out of the park pick, and that's Daniels. He's AP's boy. And the last time we took someone, he knew that player picked off Kermit Mahomes and stared him down. He was Jack Jones.
Oh, that was
If
so
he's
good.
gone, we stay at 13 and draft Michael Penix Jr. because I believe our defense is good enough to win games, and we need a quarterback because no one is scared of AOC or Gardner Minshew. At pick 44, we get a CB to go on the other side of Jones so Hobbs can stay where he's comfortable in the slot. I'm so bleeping for the first time in a long time that our team is finally going in the right direction. Finally. Daniel Mangus, proud made man, 2-time Gemini Man Award winner.
Nice.
Finally.
Good job, Daniel.
Yes, thank you. I don't know who this next one's from, but I'll go back to my emails after I read it and look and let you know. Hello from, maybe he says it in here at some point. Hello from Las Vegas, home of the Raiders. I believe contrary to most, we're good at quarterback. Minshew has had 2 better seasons than the number 1 pick, Lawrence. He's sneaky good and born to be a Raider. We were the only team he wanted. If you listen to Crosby's podcast, O'Connell did everything he was asked, 3-1 in the division, 8 touchdowns, 0 picks. Last 4 games, they're both 27, so plenty of room for growth. We should fill the holes at right tackle, corner, and others, so keep the picks. This draft is full of players that fill holes and fill our needs. Help the offense.
Sorry, I had to. Sorry.
You did.
It went back to back.
Honestly,
you were
that one-
fine until it went back to back.
Yeah, you really,
I was gonna let
you really
that first
did.
one go.
No, you held it.
I'm proud of you for not letting that go. Stay at 13 if you want someone in day 3 like the Florida quarterback. Okay, but
Pause. There's another pause.
But the O-line
I'm
must
proud of you
be
for not letting that go.
Gotta keep it going, man.
Our defense is killer. We need to help the offense this draft. Everyone who wants the shiny object, which is the analogy, is a rookie quarterback, but football is a team game. Fill holes, pillage just for fun. I like the show with QBJ. I mean, this is full of pauses.
This is set up Raider.
Yeah.
Is that what that is?
He's like, Ooh, I like the show.
Paul says this email is from Tom Telesco.
Oh, perfect.
I like the shows with QB Jeff. Those are good. I guess the rest of them.
The rest of them suck.
The rest of them are ass.
No,
So those are
I
good.
need to look up who this is.
Twice a year we get QB Jeff in here.
Yeah.
Thoughts on my email, Murf? Who makes the Raiders picks this year? See what went to Michigan, so I'm guessing him. Okay, yeah, you said that earlier. I don't know who that is. I'm going to have to look it up.
Okay, well, thank you for
All right,
reading
thank
it.
you, unknown Vegas emailer.
We'll circle back.
We'll
and
circle
I'll let
back.
you know who that is.
There you
All
go.
right, we already got 2 more.
Okay.
This next one.
Don't forget, I've got one too.
Oh, that's right.
Oh.
Do you want to do yours?
Absolutely.
Okay, go ahead.
Do it, Jeff.
Good morning to my 2 main guys and my main girl, Michelle. This is your boy, Van City Raider, and
Hey,
I'm just
Van City.
I'm just emailing to remind you that the Nashville Predators suck, and go, you filthy Vancouver Canucks, go. That is all. Enjoyed the draft, RFR Fam Jam, Van City Raider. See you on Friday, pal.
Absolutely.
See you on Friday.
Absolutely.
That was Vegas Raider Pete, the email that I just
Oh,
sent.
Vegas
Yeah.
Raider Pete.
Sorry.
Right on. Oh, thank you, Vegas Raider Pete.
Okay. The next, last two, we've got Hooligan. This is his next one.
Okay.
Evening RFR crew, it's 0:30 in the morning, just days away from the draft, and your loyal pal Hooligan is worried. It's not about moving up to get Jaden Daniels, although now that the Donkeys traded for Zach Wilson, maybe we have a better shot. And can someone explain the trade? Did they do it to recoup some of the money wasted on all those jerseys? I mean, that's pretty shrewd. It's not about if Michael Penix will stay healthy if we draft him. I think he could do something special for us. What's eating me? Causing me to toss and turn into the wee hours of the morning? It's the report that Coach Reed, the leader of our dreaded adversaries, is now sitting at 128 wins and 51 losses with the Queeps as a winning percentage of .715. While our beloved Coach Madden sits at 112 wins and 39 losses and a winning percentage of .759. That's all I can't stand, and I can't stand no more. There are 32 wins away from taking another well-deserved record from us. We must dethrone the Queefs. Say it with me. Just win, baby.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Man.
Let's go. And who was that?
That was Hooligan.
Hooligan.
Yeah.
Thank you, Hooligan.
Okay. And then we got Paul.
Paul?
All right. Evening, everybody. I hope you're all feeling okay and your nerves are holding up well. I have no idea what's about to happen over the coming hours, and I can't wait to see what's new toys we're getting. In recent years, I've been more apprehensive about the draft weekend, but this year feels different. It's pure excitement. The adrenaline is flowing, but I have to admit, it's all making me as nervous as a priest at a brothel raid. There are certain things that we've come to expect in the NFL, some things that never seem to change. For example, Jerry Jones will always act like he's a modern-day Al Davis, when clearly he's just a bargain basement poor man's version. The media will fawn over anything that has to do with the Chiefs, the latest being Travis Kelce getting his own TV show. You've given up on life if you watch that, by the way. No matter who the Chargers pick in the draft, for some unknown reason, they'll be made the second favorites to win the Super Bowl.
Oh, my gosh. It's already started.
It's already started.
It's already started with the freaking Chargers bullshit, man.
Yep.
They got more August Lombardi trophies than anybody in the history of the NFL. Freaking idiots, man. Stop.
No,
if you know, for real, though, I don't want to derail Paul's email, but like for real, like media, can you please do better? Like, can we stop?
Let's stop with this shit.
It's been 24 years at least. It's back to the oldest days of Phillip Rivers that you guys have picked the freaking Chargers to win the AFC West, make a Super Bowl run, yada, yada, yada. It doesn't matter what incarnation of this team there has been. And guess what? They jettisoned a lot of their best players for this season. They've got a coaching change. Jim Harbaugh is not worth a division title when you're coaching up against Andy Reid and freaking stupid ass Patrick Mahomes. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
The only contender to the Chiefs this year in 2024 will be our Las Vegas Raiders. The end.
Yep.
Like, save that Chargers bullshit. It happens every year. It's so tired, and you know what? It's freaking lazy. Stop it. Do different. Gosh bless it. Thank you. Sorry, I dismount my soapbox.
I love when you do that.
What?
I love when you do that.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
I really do.
No, I know I do.
No, we really do.
No, I really do.
Dang it, pisses me off.
I mean that. Roger Goodell acting like a man of the people.
No,
You mean it.
I was
dude.
convicted.
I really mean that. I really mean
You
it.
mean it.
I mean it. Roger Goodell acting like a man of the people on draft night when in reality is everybody knows he's a puppet and a joke. Sadly, there's been an addition to this list for too long now, and that's the Raiders blowing up another draft. That's all we've been known for around the league, and it has to stop. This is the year we have to change the narrative. This has to be the year when we grab the draft by the nuts and squeeze. Damn, Paul.
Oh, nice.
Jeez, Paul.
Ignore the noise from the so-called experts about what we should do. We need to make choices that suit us. Pick the right guy for the job, not necessarily the big, shiny star guy, but the right guy. At this late stage, I think we'll stay at number 13 and go from there. But if Drake May is named as the number 2 overall pick, don't be surprised to see us trade up. Inevitably, there'll be fallout from some in Raider Nation over some of the selections, and I expect that there are some so-called fans out there already dipping their pens in the bottle of poison. I would imagine there are a couple of selections. At least that will be there will be a couple selections that will be head scratchers. But if they fit the mold and they're AP type players, then I'm happy with all that in advance. I want to see a quarterback, a corner, and some help in the trenches, and whoever the hell they are, they get my support because they're all about to be blessed by becoming Raiders, an honor that should never be taken for granted. So buckle up, everybody. It's almost that time again. And finally.
Finally.
A word of advice to the TV broadcasters. Be careful how many close-up shots you have of Chiefs fans over the weekend. It doesn't look good having images of knuckle-dragging, chemical experiments on prime time. Think about the children. Above all else, it's think about the children. Above all else, it's time we started to win on and off the field, and that starts in Detroit on Thursday night. So, Mr. Telesco, sir, put your best Harvey Korman in Blazing Saddles hat on and go do that voodoo that you do so well.
Nice.
Stay safe, RFR family. Love you, Raider Nation. His Lordship, the Royal Scribe, Paul Edgerton, Shropshire, Mississippi, Pauly Award winner 2019-2022, Foggy Glasses Award winner 2020, BRT Sizzler scorekeeper, proud made man,
five time,
times 3 plus 1, winner of the Raiders Fan Radio BRT Sizzler Award.
Attaboy, Paul.
Paul, your name Paul?
Paul.
I met him with
Paul. Who? Paul. Paul, yes, Paul. Paul's not here. Hey, Paul. Paul.
Hi. I'm Paul.
Darn right you are, Paul. That was fantastic,
That
man.
was.
What a great email, and I love Paul.
Lamont and I watched Blazing Saddles the other night. Holy cow! Again, I mean, we've seen it a million times, but I love that he referenced that in there. But man, have you ever seen it?
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's one of those movies that comes on like every once in a while, and it's just like I'm like, oh, stop what you're doing.
Yeah.
Like, I have to watch this thing now. I showed it to Vinny. So my youngest son, for those of you that don't know, my youngest son, Vinny, he just turned 18. And so me and Valerie and Vinny, we had something going on, whatever. And we were like, oh, let's watch a movie. This is movie night, right? And I'm like, let's watch Blazing Saddles. And he was like, because it's a different world nowadays. And he was like,
you ain't making that now.
Did they just, like he was just like completely
flabbergasted.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, I'm like, this is what you do. You make fun of shit.
Yeah.
Like it was written by Richard Pryor for crying out loud. It was supposed to be the lead in. But like, you know what I mean? Like it's genius. It's freaking genius.
It really is.
And yeah. If we had more Blazing Saddles, the world would be a better place. You know what I'm saying?
True.
Like, oh my gosh. And you know what? We might have to pull some Blazing Saddles. We need some Blazing Saddles.
We do.
Yeah.
We do.
Yeah.
We do.
You know what my favorites is? Is it true? Oh, it's true. It's true.
Oh my gosh. I probably watched Blazing Saddles when I was 9 years old.
Same.
My dad
As
was
a
always
kid.
watching that damn movie.
I saw The Godfather, Apocalypse Now, The
Scarface,
Deer Hunter,
all
that
older,
shit. Exorcist, all that. Yeah, I saw all that stuff, man. Yeah,
which is why
I was going to
so
say
cool.
it probably says a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Damn, Mel Brooks, genius, man. What a legend, man.
Yeah,
absolutely. All right. Let's get to the calls here. I have everything rolling through my head now.
Yeah.
What in the wide world of sports is going on around here? Let's check in with our buddy down in Houston. He is Houston Raiders Steve.
Murf, Mosh, Swag Jeff, Michelle, Nation. Houston Raiders Steve. It looks like we had a really good chance to get Michael Phoenix from
Hit that X, Steve.
Yeah, there we go.
Really accurate. They said he's like another
Soft E.
Dan Marino. He's got a very quick release like Marino, and he's just
Phoenix.
Winner, all levels. I think Chase Daniels.
It's true.
Might have to give it too much to get him, even though it is intriguing. Get Jaden Daniels from LSU, Heisman Trophy winner, quarterback. And I don't know. I'm really glad we got that offensive lineman from the Bears. And I think we're going to be better than we expect. Finally got away from Jimmy Garoppolo. And all I can say is you can never have enough help on offensive and defensive lines. You never get a linebacker. I think we got a cornerback recently. I'm sorry, I'm working two jobs right now. Anyway, all I can say is the Raiders are back, baby, sooner than later. I'm all excited. Future looks bright. Got to wear shades. $10 Goodbye.
Bye, Steve.
There you go, Steve. I talked to Steve on the phone yesterday.
Tell us about that, Jeff.
It was great. He was
What'd y'all talk about?
Everything that he just said in that email or in that voicemail.
Okay,
you know,
good
he's
deal.
talking about both of his jobs and stuff. He's always working. More is required.
Absolutely.
Out of Houston
1% more.
Raiders team. Yep.
1% more.
Yep.
Houston Raiders team.
Never stopping.
Let me ride that donkey. All right, let's check in next with our buddy. Let's see who we're going to go to next. We're going to go to Jay in St. Louis, also known as Jordan Ford here in the chat.
Hey.
Murf,
Swaggo, Michelle, what's up? It's Jay from St. Louis.
Hey, Jay.
And I gotta say, man, I just finished watching that episode of The Rush from Max Crosby, and they had Gardner Minshew on, and that dude is a whole fucking vibe, man. Like, I could see us, like, just going camping, rolling up a J, kicking back a few brews, and just talking about the universe. Like, this dude is so cool.
Truth.
All these rookies drafting a quarterback. I want Gardner Minshew. I'm such a fan. Like, I've always been a fan of him since I met him in the Washington State days with Mike Leach, and rest in peace, Mike Leach. But no, man, this guy, I don't know. I just fucking love Minshew. I've always been on the Jaden Daniels train, but I don't know, man. Fucking Minshew mania sounds great right about now. I guess we'll find out by the time this episode's tomorrow. But yeah, I hope you guys have a great show. Jay from St. Louis, peace out.
There he is, Jay in St. Louis. Good stuff. Jesus Alvarez in there, man. That's y'all dance around like a bunch of Kansas City Chiefs. All right, next up. Oh, come on, that didn't connect.
Yeah, it did. Well, yeah, you just replaced it with.
Yeah,
what,
I
thought that'd be good. I thought
sorry.
it'd be funnier.
You did good. Sorry, I was reading the chat.
Oh, that's good. I thought it'd be funnier.
All right, who's the last one?
Jay and Josh in the 703.
Okay, play it.
Jesus. I think we killed Michelle.
Yeah, we did.
That's what I was hoping for.
It was just delayed. There you go.
That's what I was
You can
hoping.
edit. You can edit that.
That's the move I was hoping for.
You can edit it.
Yeah. I'll edit this.
We'll edit this
Anybody
shit.
in the audio podcast, we're just gonna go straight to that.
Yeah. Forget the And those here on the
Forget
YouTube,
the
there was
friggin-
like 13 seconds of awkward silence. So let's just now we're here.
Just cut it out.
Okay.
Started from the bottom. Now we're here.
All right, let's get to Josh in the 703.
What's up, fam?
man? So I know that it's really everyone rooting for Jaden Daniels. I'm rooting for him too, but I just don't see that actually happening. I'm not gonna lie. I thought about it. I let my realistic brain kick in, and I was like, that's a lot of fucking picks. So I think it might end up being Michael Penix Jr. because I definitely don't see Jaden Daniels falling down the draft. But GMs make weird ass decisions every year. So I guess it's a possibility. If he falls or gets closer to what we might be able to work with, that's one thing. But I'm getting the feeling it's Michael Penix Jr., and that's going to be the pick. But hey, I hope everyone's been good. I know we're all waiting around football. It's the last bit we're going to hear about for a while. And I hope everyone stays safe. Raider Nation all day. Also, where the f*** on the Fanny Awards? I need my Michelle Sweat Award.
Oh.
My award. Anyways.
Yes.
Good. And just because I don't have no one to be angry at this week. Man, the Broncos.
There it's gone. Nice. It's too funny. All right, so for those of you that don't know, so first of all, thank you, Josh, in the 703 for your call. And so he was referring to the Fanny Awards. We missed the Fannies last year.
We did.
Because we were in the middle of, we thought we were moving the fan cave, but then we ended up remodeling the fan cave. And anyways, but point being, though, is that we usually do that in July. So that's where the Fannies is, and that's the Raiders Fan Radio Awards show that we do every year. So look for the Fannies coming up probably sometime in July. It's like when you get to the deadest, like the offest of the off season.
Right.
That's typically where we do the Fannies. And so check us out there, Josh, and the Michelle Sweat Award that he referred to. That's basically the foulest mouth in the course of a year.
Yep.
And I think Josh is in a strong running. It usually comes down to him and Daniel Mangus. Those are your two front runners. But anyways, appreciate everybody.
But it's got to sound it's got to sound natural. Like, don't just be calling.
No, you can't be just
forcing
throwing.
You're doing a swear. Like, you really gotta.
Yeah. It's gotta
be natural.
You know what? Jay in St. Louis is a solid front runner.
Yes, he is.
He's solid.
Yeah.
He's on the short list. And I'll say this though too. Yeah, don't be doing it just for freaking, trying to get an award, because I have to edit all that stuff.
Yeah.
So like, just coming in here and like blazing with a bunch of F-bombs is like a lot of work for me. So
go back to some of my my voicemails and maybe they can hear
you know
how
what?
natural
That's the blueprint.
That's the blueprint.
Yeah.
And you know what? And I've got those locked and loaded. Yeah, we'll do that for sure.
Yeah, for
absolutely. All right. So hey, Mojo's in there.
Hey,
Mojo says the fannies are my favorite. Thank you, Mojo. We appreciate that very much. Swag, shout out the chat room, and then also tell us who the best emailer or voice mailer of the night was, because we award a Sizzler Award
we do.
to the best of the best. And who do we got tonight?
Absolutely. Well, first off, let's shout out the chat. Tony Shefford, Fabricator Gill, Jordan Ford, Big Easy, Mojo, Paul, Rufacho's in there, Barrio Clips TV's in there, Jesus of Alamrock's in there, Vegas Raider Pete, Raider 27, Raider Cam. Let's see here. SoCal Sal is in there.
All right, we're good. Go ahead.
Frankie Mosqueda's in there. All right. So we had a bunch of amazing emails.
Last time I saw fishing that hard was in Florida. Come on, dude. Let's speed it up.
I'm telling you.
Thought you nodded off.
Well, then don't tell me to read the stuff.
Well, I
bro.
didn't know it was going to take you that long.
Oh my gosh, it was like 26 seconds. Just chill out.
Jeez.
My gosh.
They're
jackass.
just anxious about this draft, guys. That's what's happening.
Watch this. You want the blueprint? Hey, Michelle, you mind shouting out the chat real quick?
No, I'm just as bad. I'm not doing it.
Hey, Murf, why don't you shout out the chat?
Jordan Ford, Barrio is in there. Raider Dank Vader, Vegas Raider P.
What? You rat bastard.
Today, Junior.
Oh my gosh.
Mojo is in there. Fabricator Gill is in there. Rafucho is in there. Tony Shefford is in there. Big Easy is in there. We appreciate you also very, very much for your support of Raiders Fan Radio.
Wow,
At
great
least
job.
one of the three of us is very appreciative of you, chat room.
Wow.
We love you guys.
Gosh, you're so good at that.
Thank you, Raider Nick. Thank you, Raider Cam. Thank you, Raider 75. Thank you, We Know the Truth. Thank you, Big Easy. Come on, let's go.
Wow. Just had to prove
that was
us wrong.
longer. That was longer than mine.
Now I need a nap. And I'm seeing stars.
The only person to turn the chat shout out into a rant.
No,
You said everyone's names so aggressively.
No shit.
Thanks, Tony Shefford.
They probably feel like they're in trouble.
Jordan Ford, thanks for being here.
Thanks a lot.
Hey, we had some amazing emailers tonight.
Frankie Mosquito says we need a play clock.
I'm telling you, yeah. Matthew Mangus, T-Hom, Daniel Mangus, Vegas Raider Pete, Van City Raider, who Van City Raider actually... is there such thing as an opposite of the Sizzler Award?
Yeah.
He's talking shit about the Preds, so I feel like that might go to the worst emailer of the night. Hooligan Nation and Paul. And then the voicemails. We had Jay in St. Louis, Houston Raider Steve, and Josh in the 703. Tonight's Sizzler Award goes to maybe the new Swear King, Josh in the 703.
I am the Sizzler.
Nicely done.
Sizzler.
Sizzler. Sizzler.
We are Metallica, and we are here for your Oakland Raiders!
You know why we out here, and we ain't playing around today.
From The Walking Dead to errant Jedi Knights, Raiders fans are a rogues gallery.
Call it the Drizzler.
Hooligan Nation says the Fizzler.
Oh, the Fizzler.
I love
The
that.
Fizzler.
I love
Oh, we didn't do our
that.
Oh, Swag Jeff, why are you so stupid?
Oh, that's so mean.
Okay.
All right. All right.
All right.
Matt, don't hit that yet.
Oh, no.
Pause. Well, say what you need to say. We need to get the hell out of here. Holy cow.
Jackass. We appreciate you so very much, Raider Nation. We can't wait to see what's going to happen tomorrow for the draft. Look forward to. We're going to jump back on. Maybe get a little Raiders Fan Radio rundown coming at you on Friday.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. So we'll have some. We won't be live, but we'll have a little show for you Friday coming at you. But then we're going to come back next Wednesday. Okay. So all this stuff will have a chance to settle out. We'll get all the entirety of the weekend of the draft. We will be back. Even though we normally go every other Wednesday during during the off season. We're going to be right back here with you on Wednesday. So check us out, 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern, youtube.com/Raiders Fan Radio. And thank you to everybody. I'll leave it to Jeff and Michelle to shout out the chat, even though it might take them 17 minutes. But we love you guys so very, very much for joining us tonight. And most importantly, the super chats that came in tonight and your support of the One Nation Foundation. We love you guys so very, very much. Thank you for your support of this show. Thank you for the support of the One Nation Foundation. Michelle?
All right, I'm going to shout out the chat. We got Raider 75.
You better do it in a timely manner before Dad yells at you.
Vegas Raider Pete's in there. Tony Shepard, the Big Easy. Hey, I'm in there. Hey. Cease is in there. Jordan Ford, Paul. Storm. I said the Big Easy Hooligan. Frank Mosqueda. Listen, all the heavy hitters, they're always in there.
Let's go.
Let's knock this draft out of the park.
Come on.
Come on. Couldn't agree more. I'm here for it. This time tomorrow, we'll probably know who our quarterback's going to be or who our next superstar is going to be. Whoever it is, I'm fired up. Can't wait for it. Thanks to everyone in the building. Thanks everyone. I know the people are watching live on YouTube, but there's also the good folks on Twitter, on the X. So we can't see you because we're just here on the YouTube, but hi and goodbye to those of you as well. So thanks to everyone for tuning in for another episode of Raiders Fan Radio. On behalf of Murf, on behalf of Michelle, my name's Swag Jeff. You've tuned in for another episode of Raiders Fan Radio, where we take a lighter side journey into the dark side, especially during draft season, because why not? 'Twas the night before draft night. It's the name of the show. So can't thank you enough for being here. We love you guys. Much respect. See you, bye.
Get our YouTube.
Did I say what happens if Vegas started in Oakland?
You just did.
Because that's what I meant.
Adios, malingerers.
Goodbye. God, I can't wait for tomorrow night.
Some areolas and, what are you going to do?